So you got a banjo over there, huh?
I do got a banjo. She pretty,
Mr.
ain't
Josh Bennett. This is Josh Bennett. He is the leader of the Josh Bennett Band. They've just released a song called Be Mine on Spotify. It's incredible. You should definitely watch, listen, all the above. He's playing around Athens, Georgia all of the time. Works at Boar's Head. He's playing at Boar's Head often. Playing with other bands in the area and stuff. Cool guy. And my friend Josh Bennett.
Yay! Appreciate you having me, brother.
Yeah, dude. And I just want to, like, part of this thing is just to hang out, man. You know, I just want to hang out. That's all it is. Yeah.
It's my kind of time. My kind of time.
It's like, it seems to be that it's easier when there's a set, like, appointment to not have your phone out kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, minimal amounts of distraction. It just feels good that way.
Yeah, you saw me. I just turned my thing off. I'm like, I don't want anything, just me and you. Like, get her done, you know.
Do you want whiskey?
I'll take a little whiskey. I'll take a little whiskey.
What kind of cup do you want?
Whatever's clever. That chalice you got there looks real nice.
These are cool as fuck, man. These are from my grandmother.
Oh, nice.
She just moved into the old ladies' home, and she gave these to my mom.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. I've been drinking whiskey for the past 2 or 3 nights in a row, and out of these cups, man, and they're very fun.
Dude, yeah, I like a little whiskey now and then. Cheers, brother.
Cheers, man. So you were saying you went hunting this weekend with your girl Una.
Una, yeah, man. She's cool.
Right.
Yeah, got us a deer. Had some other experiences, you know.
Other experiences?
Yeah. So, man, down there every year, once or twice, people think I'm crazy, but it's the middle of nowhere, and I swear to God, Sasquatch are there. They are there.
Okay.
And they're about messing with humans. That's what they like to do. Like, I don't know if it's for their fun, how they get a good kick, like whether they have like some sort of humor or whatever, but we got the absolute shit scared out of us this weekend. Like, terrifying. So we're at our camp, right? And we have a bunch of campers, and we have one trailer.
So y'all are camping.
It's kind of camping. It's our like deer camp, you know. Like got a fire pit, got sheds all over everything.
As
like,
close to camping as you get,
but it's an actual camper.
tents.
Like it's a tow behind camper.
Oh, okay.
You know.
All right.
So
you're in a camper.
It's pretty nice. Like it's not super rough in it, but
Yeah,
it's close. It's close. You know.
It is
and,
close.
We have an outhouse. You know, it's got like an actual shower, an actual toilet in it. And, dude, so Sunday night, I don't know if you remember Sunday, but it was stormy, like bad winds. Like, dude, there's 45-mile-an-hour gusts down there. And we're in pine trees, like an old
Where
pine
y'all
tree
located?
farm. It's Reynolds, Georgia, so it's southwest Georgia.
Okay.
And, dude, 45-mile-an-hour winds. These gigantic pine trees are, like, almost sideways.
Oh, my God.
Dude, rain coming down, stakes hitting the tin roof, so it's like tick, tick, tick all around you. Like, some of them are loud, some of them are branches. Yeah. But me and my girl are walking back from the outhouse to the camper. And the outhouse is here. Here's our camper. And right here is the trailer, like our big, long trailer. And, dude, like 20 yards away, it's pitch black dark, like midnight. I'm like, we're walking. I had walked her to the bathroom. We're walking back. And on top of that trailer, something goes, bop, bop, bop. Like 3 synchronized bop, bop, bop. And, dude, to hit the top of that trailer, you got to be 8 feet tall. And, dude, my hair stands up. And, dude, like, ultimate feeling of being watched. Like, dude, I'm just scared to death. And you're just like, oh, my God, get in. Get inside. I'm, like, shoving her inside. Like, get in. And, dude, for some reason, they don't like guns. I think guns can hurt them. I grab my gun, walk outside, get some shells. Because my little brother's staying in a different camper, our buddy's camper. I walk up there. I'm like, he's got his gun, but he doesn't have shells. I'm like, here, take these. And
Did they hear it? Did they hear it?
And, dude, the week before, I had told him about all my stories, and he was like, oh, my God, that's freaky.
You have many stories?
I have several stories. Like, several times with these Sasquatch actually messing with me.
Okay.
And, dude, so I hand him the shells, and he's just like, oh, my God. And takes them, goes back to bed, and he wakes up the next morning. I didn't say anything about the 3 taps. He's like, Joshua, something. And to be able to do this, it has to be 10 feet tall. He goes, Joshua, something came up to my camper, and on the top of it went bop, bop, bop 3 times. 3, like, synchronized bop, bop, bop. And I didn't even tell him about what happened to us, the 3 hits. I'm like, yeah, the exact same thing happened to us, basically. Without me telling him that. He said that, and I was like, yeah, one was in our camp last night.
Dude.
Yeah, like, dude, like, look at my hands. I'm shaking right now.
You have my hair sitting up on the back of my neck, dude.
Goosebumps, like,
Jesus,
dude, it's so scary. Like, but once you have a gun out, they kind of leave you alone.
They've got some type of omnipresent
anything.
sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Of they've got weapons. Yeah. Time to go.
Yeah. I mean, name anything else out in the woods of Georgia that's tall enough to smack the top of a trailer.
How tall would a bear be? A brown bear, right?
I mean, we don't have brown bears in Georgia. I've never seen a black bear down there. And even then, a standing tall black bear, I don't imagine being more than like 6, 7 feet. Like, maybe a little longer, you know. But,
so there were no limbs close by to the top of the camper.
And to be able to hit my little brother's top of his camper,
same
like,
thing.
It's covered by a big tin roof.
Yeah.
So nothing was falling on the actual camper, but the slabs were on the actual camper.
Oh, so there was a tin roof above the camper. So he was hitting the actual camper.
But it was hitting the actual camper. So like nothing could have fallen from the trees that hit the top of the camper.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Oh yeah, I've had a lot.
So you believe in ghosts?
My house was so haunted growing up, man.
Really?
So haunted.
What?
Oh yeah, bad haunted. Like,
all right, so you
door
grew up
slamming, footsteps.
Where did you grow up?
Marietta, Georgia, on Civil War battlegrounds.
Oh my God! On Civil War battlegrounds. Did you research the history of like what happened there?
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't want to know because they mess with me enough to where I'm like, just please.
The ghosts were like, "Don't do it. You do it, we'll fuck with you more."
Pretty much.
Okay, so doors would slam. All right, so you think it was? I mean, it's unexplainable, right?
Absolutely unexplainable.
Your imagination wants to run.
Yeah.
Your imagination wants to just go wild and crazy and just extrapolate on anything it could possibly be. But yeah, a Yeti makes sense, or a Sasquatch makes sense.
Only thing that makes sense. Other than what? A flying unicorn? Like, nothing else makes human sense to me.
It made a huge metal crashing on the top of your camper too.
Like a slap of a hand, dude.
Jesus.
Bop, bop, bop.
God
3
damn.
synchronized slaps, like the exact same length apart. Like just
that's
nothing
terrifying.
nothing could replicate that except another human that's on stilts.
So did you guys try to go to sleep right after that happened? Like what? Like
It took a little bit to fall asleep that night.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, a couple hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who fell asleep first? You or Una?
Probably me, because I mean I've had more experience with them. And
the shotgun was closer to you.
Yeah. And they've never done anything to me. And honestly, man, if they were gonna do something to me, even with a gun, I'd probably have no chance.
Hey, yeah.
10-foot tall hairy creature that outclasses me.
Yeah. What kind of shells did you give your brother? Did you give him the shotgun shells and you had the rifle shells in yours? Yeah.
I had just a pistol, honestly. He had a rifle. So,
okay.
Yeah.
What kind of pistol?
38 special.
Okay.
Hollow points.
Oh, you'd have taken him out.
Hollow points. Hopefully. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what kind of damage a bullet's gonna do to a Sasquatch.
Maybe he's got like 3 hearts, and you have to shoot all 3 of them.
Maybe I'd be going for the head. For a big giant 10-foot tall hairy creature coming at me.
6-shooter.
6-shooter. Yeah. I hope I get lucky.
Yeah, that's risky.
I hope I get lucky.
But you're probably going to be close, and he's probably going to be running right at you and not dodging anything. Yeah. So you can probably handle that.
Maybe.
Although that's what people say with bears, and then they miss bears, and then it's the Revenant.
You got to take your time because you get like 1, maybe 2 shots.
Yeah.
So
that's terrifying.
It's freaky. Another one, I mean, another time this year, the other time I had an experience is I was in the very back of my property, like a mile back.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is this in Marietta?
no, this was down there, Southwest Georgia, near Reynolds again this year.
Is this your hunting camp?
Yeah.
This is at? Okay.
Hunting land. Yeah, we got like 1,500 acres leased of swamps and pine tree farms. And dude, I'm in the very back of our property, and 10 minutes before dark, I knew it was going to happen because everything just went silent. And right before dark, like, all the birds are alive. They're going to bed, calling at each other. And, I mean, it's nothing. And, man, it got eerie. And I pulled out my phone, and it just died out of nowhere. I get down. I'm like, all right, whatever. Go to put on my flashlight. Dead. Now, about a mile walk in the sketchiest woods. No flashlight. And I'm sprinting out of there. Like,
wait.
I'm running.
You're running. You're running away.
To get out of the woods.
To get out of the woods. You know they're there.
I knew it. And I get to this swamp bottom, Drew, and something took a tree this big around and went as I'm passing by, and I'm watching this giant tree.
What?
No wind, dead quiet other than that. And when that happened, I just went, stop! And complete silence of the woods.
You just said stop.
Yeah, as soon as I said that, just dead silence in the woods. Not a cricket. And I got out of there, man. I was like, I don't know about all this, no. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do about it, but I just keep going.
So you were in the woods hunting, and it's right around dusk. It's, the deer are, you can't really see them anymore. And you're walking out of the woods, and you see this tree, like you're running. You
to get out.
Because you look at your phone goes blank. You feel silence, and you begin to run because you know something is wrong, and you know where you're going to. It's your land. Yeah. And as you're running, you see this huge tree next to you, this big around, just shake back and forth, and then you're still running. You didn't stop to look. Yeah.
I kind of gave it a glance and was like,
quick, yeah. Stop. And then stop. Yeah. And then
silence. I don't know how they have the ability to do it, man, but they have the ability to make the woods go completely silent.
Oh my
God. I tell people all the time, if you're ever in the woods and you don't feel right about it, if it's dead quiet, leave. Just don't. You can go to the woods any other day. If you're out there on a day when it doesn't feel right, go with your gut. Even if it's not a Sasquatch, go with your, like, something's telling you wrong, it's go with your gut. Like, man, a limb might fall on you. Like, something's telling you to stay out of the woods, do it.
Yeah.
Like, every time.
It, like, reminds me of, like, an eclipse. Like, when I saw a solar eclipse in South Carolina, and basically in the woods, except we're all partying and shit, and everything goes silent. All the birds of the day go completely silent, and then all the crickets of night start to, in at 2:30 p.m. But that was a completely surreal feeling right there. And then, but there's this space. There's this little bit of time in between the crickets start chirping and the birds going silent. That this extremely eerie feeling of just, I'm not in control. Yeah. It's like being on the top of a mountain and not understanding how to get down, kind of thing. Like how nature can kind of humble you in that way.
Okay. Nature it's Mother Nature for a reason. Like, she owns you when you're out there.
Yeah.
Like, you have no control.
Yeah.
Like, you can put things in your favor, but man, you are not top dog anytime you walk outside into the woods.
You have to submit.
You got to.
You have to submit, and you make that decision every time you go to a hunting stand, every time you go camping, anything in the outdoors, you always make that decision. I mean, there's been multiple times for me where, one time in particular, of almost getting really, probably dying, probably my brains smashed on a root of a huge oak tree when I was hunting. And so I'm sure T-Stu won't care if I told this story. But I was in South Alabama hunting with my buddy, and we're stalk hunting kind of. So we're kind of just like, he's over here and I'm over here, and we're just walking this way, stopping every 20 minutes, or we'd walk a little bit, stop 20 minutes, sit in that spot for 20 minutes to keep going. So we're only about the third stopping point, about an hour and a half into the hunt. And at this point, I'm not really worried about T-Stu at all, and he's probably not worried about me. And I come across this tripod, and, tripod just has 3 legs, right? And it's metal. And I walk up on it, and I'm like, oh, it'd be awesome if I could go sit up in that tripod and have a great view of everything around me. And it's in this little, like the little stalagmites that come out of the ground from roots of oak trees or any type of trees that are in a swampy area. So I find myself walking in between those. I'm like, wow, this is really interesting. This will be fun to sit here and like read and observe the wilderness. Hopefully a deer walks out. So I'm walking, stepping around these stalagmite things, and I get to this tripod, and I notice it's a little bit rusty, and I'm like, oh, I'll be fine. And I start stepping up this tripod, get about probably 5 steps up, which is about 5 feet. And it snaps right below my feet, right where my feet are on the, it kind of looks like this when you're stepping up, right? It cracks right below my foot, and so it's 3 legs, right? It falls back on top of me, and I'm tall enough to where the platform of the foot thing falls right next to my face, and there's a stalagmite right below my crotch area.
Oh my God.
and so I'm sitting there. This is one of those moments where it is like you have just met death. Yeah. You just came face to face with a Grim Reaper, and he said, "Not today."
Yeah.
You're okay today.
You got lucky, yeah.
And I sat there for probably 20 to 30 seconds, and it literally laying on my back, just feeling what it feels like to be alive in this moment.
Yeah.
And I meditated on that idea and that feeling, and gaining another life, is it's impossible to feel, because when you die, you pretty much die. I mean, they can bring you back to life, but that's very rare. So I'm sitting there trying to think about how I can feel this through. And this notion of feeling alive in this moment, like someone granted me new life, was the most. It was like the most amount of gratitude I could have ever felt. But I remember feeling that so much, because I was just sitting there, and I want to feel this for forever. So I'm going to sit in this spot for like as long as it takes. I can't remember how long it was, but. I mean, Grim Reaper was right there, and it was like he brought down his scythe. Yeah. It wasn't like it was almost like it wasn't his decision to say yes, but I mean to say yes, you can go, because that scythe came down, and it was like literally right here. If my head was here, my brains would have been fucking smashed. I would have not been able to say, "Hey, T-Stu, I almost got killed today. Your hunting camp." But that was crazy experience, man.
Man, it's stuff.
I have a supernatural story too,
nice.
But I'm gonna say it after. So,
dude, it's stuff like that. It really humbles you, and it lets you know how fragile life really is. Because man, is it fragile. Like there's like every day you go down a flight of stairs, bro. Is like. All it takes is one slip on those stairs and you're dead. Like, you gotta, like, not only be careful, but, like, not take things for granted, because it can end quick just on something as simple as walking up a ladder that was rusted, And so, like, living life like that has helped me, because I've also been in some spooky situations like that, because it helps me be a better person, because I never know when it's gonna end. And,
never.
The last time I talked to someone, like, let's say I was talking to you, you're the last person I talked to before I fell down a flight of stairs. If that was a bad impression I left on you. That's what I remember as from like you. On my last day, I made a like terrible conversation with you, then fell down some stairs. You know? And so that's kind of how I've been somewhat living my life, you know, just to like live it to the fullest, be a good person, you know, like, because why not?
I mean,
you're not guaranteed anything.
You're not guaranteed anything, man. And people, like I've been thinking about that a lot recently because one of my grandmothers is having a kind of a hard time, just I think like depressed, and she's like 87, and you know, she's telling me like you know, can I get your help on the computer? And it's kind of like hard for her to make sentences sometimes, full sentences, just simple words. And I'm like, of course. So, and but I'm like, you know, if you don't use your brain, it's, you know, it's gonna leave you. It's gonna just not. And then, you know, but that idea of like leaving people too, and when, you know, the last thing that they'll know you for. It's interesting you're thinking about it that way, because I've thought about it sort of the opposite way of I want to always think that I'll never see someone else again. So whenever I say goodbye to someone, it's like the last time I'll see them in my life. And I'm not good at it, man. I'm terrible at it. I'm total like Irish goodbye of like, fuck off. I'm out of here. You know, that's totally me. Yeah. Like, I don't want to give anybody hugs. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I just want like the continuation of life to just continue, but it doesn't work like that. And, but yeah. And, you know, like it takes like if you were to leave somebody and then not give your best impression of yourself, it seems like that would be a good tool to try and make sure that y'all are still in good standards with each other. And, yeah, that would be just a good practice in general, just to always just be grateful for the experience of you being with someone else, and being able to enjoy the moment with someone else.
Live in the moment. Like we were saying, like why we took our phones away, put them away, like, this is the moment I want to be in right now, and I want to enjoy it. Like,
yeah,
just like people miss out on that.
Yeah,
they really do.
Yeah, man. People do. I miss out on it all the time. Like, I miss out on it all the time, and you know, there's pieces of me that are like, you know, how do I prepare for the future? Yeah. And do I need to be thinking about the future all the time so that I can be prepared for it? And the answer is no. The answer is like, when you're in the now, you can plan for your future even better. Just like while you're in the now, plan for your future in the now, you know, instead of, but like in the now, then you know, I get it. Just, it's being like intentional with, you know, optimizing for any event that you're in, any kind of like a musical event. Like if you're performing for a bunch of people, you can't help but be in the moment when you're playing music, you know. I mean, it's impossible. Like if you're in your head, people know that you're in your head. Yep. You know, it's a perfect practice in mindfulness and sort of how you're feeling, what's going on inside you. Everyone sees that thing, and you know, there can be anxiety with that, but then there can also be awesomeness with it, because like if you're feeling great inside and you're feeling amazing and you just want to give that to the world, then that's 100% absolutely possible through music, through any type of interaction, anything, man. You
just
know,
gotta work on it.
Yeah.
And if you're afraid to work on it, you're never gonna get better. Like, you know, you gotta shoot your shot, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You gotta shoot your shot in life and whatever else you're gonna do. Yeah, man. It seems to me that I've been feeling this a lot recently. It's like missing out on performing live music all of the time, kind of thing. And then been trying to analyze like my personality and like, okay, is this something that I want to do with my future, kind of thing? Like, do I want to put all the chips in this bucket? Mm-hmm. Where my chips are kind of spread out, like kind of evenly with like software development and business and also music and hopefully podcasting, because this shit's fun just to like sit down and talk with people. Yeah, I'm thinking about like, you know, how thin do I want to spread myself, and how much do I need to feel the fear of missing out on things?
Yeah,
you know?
man. And it's hard to balance all that. Like, it
It is.
really is. But at the end of the day, like, as long as you're happy, like, with the decisions you're making, it really doesn't matter.
Right.
You know, like, you just got to do what you want to do. Like, if you
Yeah.
want to podcast, music, software, business, like, all the shebang, do all of it. Like, but, you know, I mean, if one starts working out better than some of the others, maybe invest a little more time in it. As long as it's what you want to do.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, like, if you're not happy with what you're doing, in my eyes, it doesn't matter how much money you're making.
Doesn't.
What kind of fucking, like, vacations you're going on.
Yeah.
Like,
How many people are clapping for you?
you know,
It
if you're
doesn't
not having
matter.
fun, man, it ain't worth it anyway.
It's true. If it's not fun, it's not worth it. It's crazy how like people lose their, you know, idea of what's fun.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, everything it's everything. You're just you know, constantly finding things that are fun just automatically. And then when you become an adult, it's like you can't do all the things you could do as a kid all of the time. So it's like they beat you down kind of and try to figure out, you know, you then have to just live or die on your rock, whatever your rock is, kind of thing. I want to hear your other supernatural story about ghosts.
Ghosts?
Yeah.
Okay,
And your
so
yeah.
my first one ever was I was 12.
Okay.
And this is how it started, man. It's crazy. Like, my whole life, like, in my house, just crazy noises. Like, unreal stuff. And so I'm 12. My dad's out of town. I walk into the house with my mom, dad, or not my dad. My dad's out of town. My mom, my little brother, and me. My mom and my little brother take the dog out for a walk. And when you walk in my house, like, you have to turn an alarm off. Like, you press the buttons, because, like, if you don't, like, it calls the police. Like, any
Right.
door you open, any window.
Alarm system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? But also, like, if you open up a door when it's unarmed, it'll still go ding dong and everything. But so
Oh, yeah.
I walk in, I turn off the alarm, police aren't coming, whatever. I'm walking downstairs towards my basement. My little brother, my mom have the dog outside. And I get, like, 6 feet from the door, like, real close. And I watch the handle turn, open, and then slam shut right in front of my face. And 12-year-old me's just like,
Open. You see the
handle
turns.
turn. Like, I got
open
chills talking about
and
this.
slam shut.
Turn, open up, slam right in front of my face.
Okay, does it open towards you or away
Towards
from
me.
you?
So I can't see what's behind it from my angle, really. I just see it. Whop!
Oh my god.
And I freeze. I'm just like freeze for like a good, like, maybe 5 seconds. Felt like forever, but nothing happens. And I sprint out the house. I'm screaming, "Get in the car! There's someone in the house!" Scoop up my dog. My mom's like, "Oh my god!" And my little brother jumps in.
Oh,
We
really?
zoom off.
Whoa.
Call the police. Police come search the house. They're like, yeah, ma'am, there's no one in your house, nor was there anyone in your house ever. And we're like, okay. Chalked it up to whatever.
Okay, so let me ask you a few things about this. So the angle that you're facing the door, is it like the angle of facing that door right there?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
But I'm probably where you are.
Okay. So yeah, you can't see anything as it opens up.
Yeah.
You still can't see anything that's behind it.
And then, wham!
Oh my god.
Like,
So
but I watched the handle turn.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
heard it, like, and everything.
Okay, so if you were invisible, you could, and you didn't hear any steps or anything, right?
No.
Okay. So let's just assume that you would have heard the steps if you took a step, or this thing took a step. So the door would probably open like this and slam shut without having to move your lower limbs. So, but if you're on the other side, you would have to open it, step in,
Probably.
and then step back out and close it like
yeah,
that.
probably.
So they were already on the inside.
Yeah.
This thing was already on the inside.
Yeah. It was already in the house that was armed.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
So that brings me to
wait. Hold on. Okay. So you run out that door?
No, I run out the other way.
Good
like
call.
Away from it, out the garage, down the hallway.
And then your
scoop
mom,
up my dog, screaming at my mom to get in the car.
Yeah.
My little brother, we all jump in with the dog.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then on the way to just getting out of the place, y'all immediately call the cops.
Yeah. I'm like, Mom, call the cops. There's someone in the house. Like, I literally watched the door open and slam in my face.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So that brought me to not know. I had no clue about ghosts. Didn't believe in ghosts, whatever. And just throughout my whole time at that house, just weird feelings, just
did it start
weird
there?
Noises, dude. Yeah, since I was little in that house,
okay,
I've
since
always
you were
had a
little,
weird feeling,
okay,
in the house,
okay,
especially by myself and when it's dark,
yeah.
Just weird, and I'm not really a spooky guy. I don't really get scared of much.
Yeah.
It's just stuff like that, and so now I'm 19, right?
Yeah.
And a few of my friends are over. My parents are out of town. We're just hanging out. Just two of my buddies. Oh, we're just hanging out. And we're in my basement.
Any alcohol? Any drugs?
No. We're just kind of hanging out.
Kind of.
Not really not. I mean, we're just watching TV and...
Gotcha.
Man, my garage... So, my garage leads into the house, right? And that door... And like I told you earlier, if a door or anything opens and the alarm's not set, it still goes ding dong throughout the house, right?
Yeah.
And we're all sitting in the basement and we hear the door from our garage open and it goes ding dong, close.
Oh wow.
And we all look at each other. I'm like,
is the garage above the basement?
Yeah, it's above. Yeah,
okay.
So it's basement, main floor, kitchen right here, and the garage is connected to the kitchen, with the door.
So a door like that opens up turn and okay.
Yeah, and it goes out to the garage.
And from the kitchen or from
so it's kitchen, door, garage.
Okay.
And we hear that door to the garage, between the kitchen and garage, open and close, ding dong. My friends and I look at each other. We're like, "What?" And I'm like, "It must be my older brother coming to check on me. Yeah. He has a key to the house. He must be just coming to check." I'm like, "Let's go up there and see it. What's going on?" We creep up the stairs from the basement, and I peeking out the door, looking around. I look and I see the door to the garage is closed. And I walk up and all the garage doors are closed. And so there's no way into the garage.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's weird. We're all just kind of standing in the kitchen, and right down the hallway from the kitchen is my parents' bedroom. We're all just kind of talking right there, and all of a sudden, Drew, we just hear doom, 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 down the hallway. And we all look that way, and my friend Miles goes, "There he is!" And as he says that, the door to my parents' room slams shut.
What the fuck?
Super loud. And, dude, my two friends, they hightail it out of my house, get in their car, and are gone.
Oh,
and I'm just standing there what do I do?
What the fuck?
What do I do? I'm like, well, I better go make sure no one's in the house, or get this guy out of my house. Go grab a gun.
Yeah. What kind of gun you got?
Just shotgun.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, I sprint around every corner of my house screaming and yelling. I'm like, "You better come out now. I'm not going to warn you when I see you."
Okay,
all
so...
that kind of stuff.
Okay, so when you heard the stomping running down the hall...
Yeah.
You couldn't see...
I didn't see anything.
But
my friend Miles said he saw it.
There he is.
There he is. Door slammed shut.
Oh my God! Did you and Miles talk later about this?
I've talked to this about this with both of them since, and I don't know if they don't remember. They act like they don't want to remember.
Oh, one of those things, dude.
I don't know what it is. It may be that memory's just wiped from their brain. I don't know, but they were gone out of my house. I've tried to talk about it with both of them, and they're just like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, "You were there."
They're trying to block that shit out.
I don't know whether they are trying to block it out or it did get blocked out.
Right.
One or the other.
Right. Probably it did get blocked out.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because they're both like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I was there that day. Are you sure? So were you. I know you were. Like,
oh my god.
And so, yeah, man. And so I cleared the whole house. Every single inch, Drew. I closed all the doors, set the alarm. So if anyone were to try to leave, I'd know. Cleared every single inch. Didn't find a single thing. I sat down on my couch and I was like, well, ghost cereal.
Dude. That's a terrifying fucking story. I wonder if Miles saw like a Confederate soldier. Possibly. Because like if a door slams, that's a manly thing to happen. Yeah. That's a masculine thing. Yeah. And it could be like one of those things where like they were running from something, like running from battle kind of thing. And you know, that sort of apparition just happens to be right in the middle of that hallway. Yeah. And I mean, or they could be in your house still. Do y'all live in the same house? Oh my god, dude, that's terrifying. I would have moved the fuck out of that house.
I don't think it happens to my parents.
Okay, this is another thing.
I just don't think it happens.
You told them.
I haven't told them.
You haven't told them?
I tell them about the Sasquatch. They don't believe me, really. Yeah. My dad kind of does.
Yeah.
I think my mom doesn't want to believe me.
Yeah.
She doesn't want me.
Right.
She definitely doesn't want me in the woods with 10-foot tall hairy creatures if they are.
Right. Yeah.
I think. So
good mom.
It's more like I'm not going to believe that because of that. Like I'm not going to believe Sasquatch because I don't want to be scared to death. And I wholeheartedly believe that's the case for most people. Okay,
so with the ghosts though, they
know scary. They know the house makes scary noises. Let's say it like that. They know for a fact that it makes a lot of freaky noises.
Okay, it ain't just the fucking ice maker. It ain't just the fridge. Yeah.
What they believe, I don't know. They're Christians. You know, they're very Christian. So
okay.
I'd imagine if it ever is like that, my mom's trying to cast them away. Probably more like thinking they're demons. Is what I would say.
Yeah.
Which I do too. I'd say if there's something messing with me from the supernatural, it's probably a demon of sorts. You know. I also think Sasquatch have some demonish qualities about them. I'd say for sure.
Sure, at least from the presence that it has inside the media.
Yeah,
these things are terrifying. Man, just like bears are terrifying.
The media is it's such crap though when it comes to Sasquatch. And here's my theory on it is, man, what would the world come to if everybody knew there were 10-foot tall hairy creatures running around the woods? The multi-trillion-dollar outdoor industry between hunting, fishing, camping, everything. Gone, toast. Dude, no one's going in the woods anymore.
You have the most supernatural stories of anyone I know.
I have one more thing that's the craziest thing that ever happened to me, but it's not to do with that kind of stuff. So I mean, we can talk about it, but it's less supernatural, but it's the most freaky thing that's ever happened to me.
It's real world though?
It's real world, real life, like Freakville.
If you want to share, man.
I want to.
Okay.
I would love to, because I like getting this stuff off my chest, because I want to hear from other people too, like if this kind of stuff has happened to them, because like I'm like out here like I can't be the only one. I can't be. And I know I'm not the only one with Sasquatch, because I've talked to a lot of people, and there's a lot of people, Drew, that have had encounters with these things. like I'd say tens of thousands of people in the U.S. alone have encounters with them a year.
Okay, just to give you a little, mine's about aliens.
Yeah. I have less. I haven't had any alien encounters now.
I have one more question about. Okay, so you've told your parents about the ghosts happening in your house? You haven't even told them.
I told them about Sasquatch though.
Okay, but you didn't tell them about that story you told?
I mean,
you just decided not to. I
also don't want to freak them out.
Right. You know, because they live there and they don't want to move.
Yeah. You know.
Good on you. Because, like, I mean, maybe good on you, but
Maybe. I feel like they would rather, you know, not have to worry about that.
kind of ignore
stuff,
it.
You know?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. It's weird. It's
right.
weird.
Okay. If you want to share your other story.
Okay. Yeah. It's kind of quicker. So I was coming back from Lanier one night. I was fishing. And it was like 10 o'clock at night. It usually takes me like an hour to get back to Marietta, which is where I was living at the time. I was like 20. No, I was 19. I'm driving back from fishing, and on the interstate through Atlanta, it's just bumper to bumper, like moving inches at a time, Drew. Like, it took me 4.5 hours to get home when it should have taken me 1.
Oh, wow.
And, it was miserable, dude. And it's just a sea of lights, red lights.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't get through there if you wanted to.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and I look in my rearview mirror just out of just randomness, and I see 2 lights, like, way far away. Way, way, way far away. And I'm like, that's kind of weird.
Like, not headlights.
I just don't know. Just 2 super bright lights, super, super far away. And I'm like, whatever.
Okay.
2 minutes later, I'm not thinking much of it. I look back in the rear view, and they're close, like getting real close. And I'm like, how is that even possible? Like, what?
Are they above cars? Like
Above, but just barely above them.
Okay, so
And
maybe like a 18-wheelers, like
the top of 18.
Yeah.
Well, you'll get
Okay.
it. Dude, I'm like looking at these lights, and I see that they're getting closer.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not right. That's just not right. And so now I'm like turned back, like looking, trying to be like, what is that? And the best way I can explain it, Drew, is a UPS truck that's just on steroids. Like a giant UPS truck, completely white, 2 super bright lights on the front, 2 super bright lights on the back. And bro, I watched this thing go whoosh right past me. And
To your left?
To my left. And it was the weirdest thing, dude.
You're in the far left lane?
I'm in like middle right, and it's in like middle left.
Okay.
And dude, it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen, because I swear to God, these cars, it looked like this when it came through them. It was just like whoosh. Like when it made it look like the cars looked like they went out and then just right back to where they were, like as it went through them. Like I can't. It's hard to explain. Like that car, like the big,
like it was warping time.
Yeah, kind of.
And
like
it was moving these cars out of the way. Like it was warping space time. So it was moving these cars out of the way so it could go through, and then pushing them back together.
Yeah.
And then everyone else acted like nothing.
And I'm like looking around at people like, are y'all not seeing this? Like, and I don't know, man.
And everybody was,
I guess.
what?
There's no chance this big giant truck or van, whatever it was coming through there the way it did without literally smashing everybody in its way. But no one escaped. And dude, man, it flew past. Like, it was fast as fuck. Like 60 miles an hour at least. Like through dead traffic, and everything just goes whoosh.
Whoa.
And it just flew past me, and I'm like watching it and looking at it. I'm like, is no one else seeing this? I'm like, we just saw the Avengers and no one else is freaking out about it.
Dude, you might be tuned into something that most people are not tuned.
Maybe.
No one's tuned into.
I might just be crazy.
You might be.
I don't think I'm crazy. I really don't, because you know, a bunch of this stuff is physical, and like I'm seeing it with my actual eyes. I'm feeling it, especially with the Sasquatch.
That's still supernatural, bro.
I'd say so.
Yeah,
probably.
That's still definitely supernatural. Anything that's moving cars out of the way so it can go through, and then squeezing them back together, and then no one knowing that it did that.
And the amount of research I've done on this, and haven't found a single thing online, that's what perturbs me a little bit about it. Because I'm like, someone's got to have a blog somewhere about this weird truck.
Yeah.
Can't find anything. So I really think it's another, yet again, government cover-up of whatever that is. Like, they're just now starting to say things about aliens, you know. They've been covering that up for forever.
Yeah.
Sasquatch is slowly, like, coming to mainstream, like, it's real. Like, dude, in Canada, it's illegal to kill them.
It's illegal to...
It's illegal to kill Sasquatch in Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a law?
Like, you will go to prison if you kill a Sasquatch in Canada.
What do they classify as a Sasquatch?
Humanoid.
Hairy, walks on two.
Woodsman. I don't know. Like,
what the fuck? Okay,
yeah.
hold on.
I need to hear yours.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna go back to the truck. Okay. So 2 minutes later, you see this thing way behind you, 2 lights basically, and you're like, okay, maybe there's just a truck way back there, and then it gets 2 minutes later, it's way closer, and it's like it's traveled. But none of the cars are traveling. Yeah. So now it's weird. Is this thing just badgering through all the cars and just coming? Yeah. Kind of, right?
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah.
And then you turn around, and then at that point, it's like really close to you. Okay, so you
by the
turn
time
around,
I turn, it's like about to pass.
So you turn around and it's about to pass you. So you see this thing the whole time as it comes by you. You watch it happen the whole time, and
jaw dropped.
And it's moving basically like, is it 3 lanes? Is it 4 lanes?
No, I'm on like at least 6 lanes.
Okay,
maybe 7 or 8.
Oh,
like I don't know. Maybe it's 75. I'm on.
Okay.
80. One of the 85s.
Yeah.
There's so many highways through there. I don't know.
Okay,
I can't even remember, but
it was coming down the left side,
and I'm in the middle. Right?
In the lane, you're in the middle, right? So it's coming in, and it pushes cars out, moves through, and then pushes the cars back in.
Essentially, yeah, man. It was like a magnet pushing them off, and then they just come right back. I don't get it. I think it was the Avengers. For there to be stopped up traffic like it was for 4.5 hours, there had to have been something bad, serious going on in Atlanta that night. Oh. You know what I mean? Like, they had to have called in all the special ops.
Oh, because so that's why you think it was the government.
Yeah. Oh. Had to have been. Had to have been something absolutely absurd going on in Atlanta, Georgia that night.
That's so weird.
Dude, I can't explain it.
That's so weird, man.
Also, I want to go back to what you said, like, that all this stuff happens to me. Mm-hmm. I think it happens more often. People are oblivious. I feel like you got to be paying attention to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, and also, like, people aren't going to see Sasquatch, honestly, like, ever.
Yeah.
But if they do, it's going to be in the woods.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to spend a lot of time out there for it to happen.
Do you observe a lot? Like, are you observing person? Like, fly on the wall type person, you think?
If I'm in a restaurant or any public place, I'm in a corner facing the room watching everything happen.
Yeah. You know? You're not letting anybody behind you.
No. No.
I do the same thing in the gym.
You know,
I'm like constantly.
Not that I think anyone's out to get me.
Sure.
Like, I don't think anyone's after me, but I want to be aware.
It's just like a buck.
Yeah.
Like smelling everything that's coming over the top of the mountain and then seeing everything that's below it.
Yeah.
And that's what that is. It's the same thing. I was thinking about it today. My back is always pretty much next to something where there's either space between someone else doing something or, you know, like structures in between me and them, or my back is to a wall. And it's not because I do feel safer there, you know, but I mean, I think everyone feels that way to some extent. I think women feel that way. I think men feel that way. Like I was kind of researching and I was like, what do girls do when they want to like flirt with a guy in the gym? And that's how I figured out about this. Cause like there's this girl that went in front of me. I was like, I want to ask her out. And I got too scared. And then she left. I was in the bathroom and she left or something. I came back and I was like, fuck, she's gone. And then I left. But It's interesting. Like I look at myself and I'm like definitely fly on the wall type person. You want more?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. I'm definitely fly on the wall type person as well. Like easily, I could easily exist in a place like that where I'm just back and everyone else is. But yeah, it does take an observing eye to see subtle things, and you know that thing the van you saw was more subtle than what most people think subtle is.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh yeah. I think anyone that saw that, they were just like,
dude,
whatever.
Because that's probably something that happened to your buds.
Yeah.
You know, Miles was probably like, "What?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, time to go play some golf." You know.
Back to video games, the real world.
Yeah.
You know.
That's so weird, man. That's so creepy.
And I will say I'm like 20% Native American.
Okay.
So that probably has a bit to do with some of this stuff.
20% Native American, bro. I see a lot of stuff, bro.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to be like that, but I mean,
I bow hunt, bro.
Yeah.
So you want to hear my okay. So I am ninth grade, and I'm at my buddy's house, Chase Harvey's house, and there's me, Chase Harvey, and Nick. And ninth grade, not drinking, not doing any drugs or anything like that. And at this time, we think that ding dong ditching is fun, right? So we're like, all right, let's go ding dong ditch the guy down the street that we know that gets really pissed off at us for ding dong ditching.
Classic.
So we go down the street, and my buddy Nick goes and ding dong ditches the house, and like I'm standing at the end of the sidewalk. Like it's kind of like this driveway, and then there's a walk right here, and he's right there at the door. I'm standing right here, and Chase is all the way back up here, and then there's a road like this. It goes all the way down, and then Chase's driveway does this. And we like his door is like right next to his garage over here. So Nick ding dong ditches the house. We run. Chase is way ahead of us, and then I'm kind of behind Chase, and then Nick's behind me. And we get to Chase's house and to his driveway, run down the driveway, and then there's this huge spotlight on the ground. It looks like a spotlight, but it's like a blue spotlight on the ground, not like the actual light, but like the light is hitting something, like a projector, like hitting something, like so I see this circle that takes up the full amount of the driveway. It's probably the diameter of this thing is probably like 15 feet or so. So
can you just see the like light on the ground, or can you see the whole like thing coming down?
Okay. So there's this just the light on the ground.
Okay.
And like maybe a little bit of light, you know, with the whole, you know, classic sort of alien abduction kind of thing. And so I see this light on the ground, and Chase is ahead of me, and I run into the light because it's like right next to. I see it like pretty much like where your banjo is right there. I mean, 5 feet from where I'm running down, and then I run into it, and I look up. And there's this huge blue light, just a huge blue spotlight, about 20 or 30 feet above the house. And the house is probably 40 feet off the ground. Pretty big house. And then it's right up there, and it's huge. It's massive, massive light. And I can't tell how big it is. It's just I looked at it for a split second and then run inside. And I'm like, Chase, did you fucking see that light? And he goes, what are you talking about? Where's Nick? Did he ding dong ditch the guy? Or what's he do? You know? And then Nick, I'm like, yeah. And then Nick comes in right after me, and I'm like, Nick, did you fucking see that? And he's like, dude,
Yeah.
the blue.
Yeah.
And then he had this same experience as I did. Saw it, stepped into it, looked up, split second, keep going. Same experience
So
as I did.
your other buddy is kind of the oblivious guy that we're talking about. That's just like, I don't know.
I don't know. No. He's maybe. But if that was the oblivious, if he was like the noticed it and then blocked it out of his memory immediately, then that's him. I don't think he saw it. Yeah. I think the light wasn't there until he crossed and went inside.
Oh, okay.
And then it hit the ground because Nick and I were like ready for it. Chase probably would have gone crazy after it. And so I'm like talking to Nick. I'm like we're talking all night about it, you know. And then me and him do our fair amount of research just like years later. And, you know, he's not telling anybody and I'm not telling anybody. And, you know, and we're kind of doing that for a long time. And then we kind of just like talk and stuff about it and then tell other people about it and stuff. And then crazy,
man, it takes some courage to talk about this stuff.
It does.
Especially in the beginning. Because, dude, half the people are going to think you're crazy.
Yeah.
It's how it is. Like, I feel like so many people's minds can't expand upon what they already know and what we know as a world, what we know, more like what we're allowed to know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think when it comes to this stuff, it's just like, man, you have a 50-50 shot whether the person's going to be accepting or make fun of you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly.
If you're going to talk to someone about it.
Yeah. And you always have to, there's always this level of trust that you have to have with this person. Yeah. Otherwise, like, it's a party trick, you know? And then everyone's going to make fun of you, and it's still funny. It's
what I've done to combat, especially the Sasquatch stuff, if anyone makes fun of me with it, I'm like, all right, bet, come to my deer camp with me. And then they're like, oh, but I don't think I'm good. I'm like, oh, you sure? You sure? Because I mean, we can go check them out.
Yeah.
I know they'll fuck with you.
Yeah.
And then they're just like,
I know they'll fuck with you.
I'm good.
With that little smile.
Yeah. I'm like, go stand down in the swamp bottom with no flashlight or gun, and they'll be on you. They're gonna come up to you.
Oh my God.
Every time.
Do you actually believe that would happen?
I think if you walk down there without a gun or flashlight, they're gonna walk up on you and be like, I got you now.
Dude. What if it's not Sasquatch, and what if it's like a Slender Man, or, you know, some type of like monster, some type of creature we've never.
I think that's what it is. You know,
it's gotta be a Sasquatch.
I think Slenderman, Sasquatch, Boogeyman. I think they're all
Boogeyman.
I think
they're all the same.
I think they're all same-ish kind of deal.
They're all equally scary.
Yeah, and I think.
Oh my God, dude.
I think they're all pretty much the same thing,
dude.
You know?
I'm reading this Stephen King short story novel right now. And I just read a story about the Boogeyman. Do you want to hear about it?
Yeah.
So there's this man that, if you have the book, just skip over this part, and you haven't read the Boogeyman yet. So there's this man sitting in a therapist's office, and he's in there, and he's basically telling the therapist, you know, I'm having issues with my life. I'm sad. I need to get this thing off my chest. And then he tells the story of the Boogeyman. And he had 3 children, and his wife left him. All 3 children were murdered by the Boogeyman. They were 2 years apart, and he would have a kid, and then in 2 years, that kid would be killed. So it basically came down to the Boogeyman was following him, and he would have children with his wife, and these children would be in their bed, and they would say, "Dad, no, don't leave. The Boogeyman's here tonight." And for the first kid, he's kind of like, that's not real. Don't worry about it. And then would close the door and then go in his room for the night. And he said he woke up to, you know, like sloppy sort of like stepping, like blop, blop, blop. and then this kid would hear screams, and then he would go in his child's room, and the kid would be like, "Ah!" You know, and then just blood everywhere. So that basically happened 3 times.
What the hell?
Yeah, so at the 2 times at 2 times his two kids were killed, and then he moved to a different house. His wife left him, but he had the 3rd kid at this point, and then he said that one night he saw footsteps come into his house, like black. There were black footsteps in his house, and it went into the kid's bedroom and into the closet. So so he knows it's in the house basically at this point, but he has to sleep there that night, and his kid's in that room. So he goes, Stephen King, you just gotta suspend. You know, this isn't real. This didn't happen to anybody.
True.
True.
I'm like, dang, what an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone reading the novel is thinking that. So he's in the house, and Daddy, don't go. The boogeyman's in the closet. No, that's not real. And then we go lay down in bed. And he said like 5 minutes later there was, you know, the and then the kid would die. And then he walked into the room, and then the kid was dead, and he was like, "Oh well, at least it didn't get me this time," you know, kind of thing. So he's telling the therapist this whole story, right? And then at the end of this thing, he's kind of like, "And what do you think about that therapist?" And the therapist goes, "Yeah," something like that. And then he says the therapist basically like takes off this human mask, and it's the boogeyman out of the mask. And then the boogeyman doesn't even mess with the dad. He just walks out of the room, and he's just like, "Thank you for telling me those stories." I was like, "Oh, creepy as a motherfucker." Like,
I don't know. I can't do that.
Dude.
That is so creepy.
Yeah, it's so creepy.
Oh man, I'm so glad stuff like that isn't real.
Me too, man. Me too.
No, but there is like reports of like Sasquatch being in people's houses, like up in like
people's houses
in like British Columbia and stuff.
And
like,
you can't shoot it.
Well, I mean,
If it comes in my house, it's dead. Yeah.
No, like, but they can like get in there for real, and then they're like gone. It's weird. They got something up their sleeves. There's a reason they haven't been caught. You know,
The government.
That, and dude, I just think they have some kind of power that we don't know about. Like, a lot of people talk about like seeing them, and then all of a sudden they just vanish. I don't know whether it's teleporting, or if they're like the ultimate chameleon, like can immediately. That's what I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Is they can immediately blend in their surroundings if they want to. Which is
that's
highly possible, because
that's
dinosaurs could do it.
Some octopuses do it. You know, octopuses are magicians at it. Yeah. If you see them do something, you can see them, you know, camouflage up to their surroundings completely.
That's what I think is more likely.
Man, fucking, that's crazy, dude. That's wild. Ghosts and God, dude, that's kind of scary. It's really kind of like it's kind of terrifying.
And it would be less scary if we were just like informed about it, like, and made known how to deal with it.
Yeah, like it was science, and then it was a thing we could all, you know, oh, this is what happens when this thing comes about, so you know how to deal with it.
And I think that might be also part of it. Like, they might just have no clue what to do about it. Like, yeah, if you have Sasquatch in your area, good luck. Probably is going to be the answer from the government. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what to do with your 10-foot tall hairy creature.
They would have it would. Yeah, I think so. Do you think the van that night was government? Like, if you had to, yeah, because there was something going on in downtown Atlanta that night.
There was a lot more to what I saw than what you know. What may have been thought. You know, I definitely think that van, man, that's the creepiest, weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. Like, and so it's just like, it's got to be the government, like, or some other kind of agency. You know, I mean, like, what other agency is there that's not government? You know,
Illuminati or something. But
yeah,
they don't have the tech for that. Seems
that's what I think. I think
have you heard
get
Bob
that
Lazar?
kind of tech.
Have you heard of Bob Lazar before? Oh man, he's like super alien guy. UFO. He's got a Netflix documentary about him. Really interesting. Yeah. He said he worked at Area 51 and like S5 or something like that, and he saw like 9 different types of spacecraft, alien spacecraft that they don't have a tech for, and he said that he was working on the propulsion system of these alien spacecraft, Element 115, and they had no fucking idea how this thing worked. There was no input, there was no output. All it did was just create energy.
Interesting. I'll have to look that up.
You know what I think? That how alien spacecrafts move around the galaxy, and how they're so quick. I think they have, like with this, with the van that you saw. I think that they have this thing, this sort of like if you have like a flashlight, you know how it like kind of opens up just a little bit. I feel like it's kind of like that, like their spaceships are like that, where they just have this sort of gravity subsiding system where like it suspends gravity, where you don't have to worry about gravity. So you can just, you know, give yourself a little bit of a boost in that direction super fast and super quick, just like any little bit of amount, and it just zooms you super fast. And I think that's how aliens would operate in space.
Interesting.
Yeah, because
that's very cool.
Because if you can do that, then you can go faster than the speed of light, faster than everything. Yeah, and then also black holes. That's probably like the portal to different galaxies and universes and stuff. I don't know.
All that is way above my pay grade. Yeah. Man, I don't know anything about outer space.
Yeah.
Like, I know nothing. And so, like, whatever, like, people tell me, I'm like, dang, yeah, that'd be cool if that's the way it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, the opportunities in outer space are endless, you know. Yeah. Like, there's no telling.
You sure you don't want any more of this?
Shoot, I might have to give
Come on, let's split the last little bit of that.
Okay, all right. I'm down with that.
Yeehaw. What time do you start work?
10 tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hopefully it won't be too bad.
10? Yeah. Okay. You work 10 to what time?
3, 4.
Jesus Christ.
Sometimes 5 if it's real busy.
Oh my God, 5. Is that like clean up the floors after or something?
Yeah. It ain't that fun, but it ain't that bad either.
So, I was thinking about this earlier. What
and
time?
It's a fun job, you know. And everyone that works there, I love them.
Yeah.
You know, like that's really what makes it great is like the people.
Yeah.
And at the end of the night, everyone's high fiving, getting their money. You know, we're all happy.
Oh, cool.
Like it sucks cleaning everything up after everybody makes a mess. All the drunk people make a mess. But once it's over, it ain't that bad. You know.
What time are you waking up in the morning?
My goal is to be up before noon after every time I work, no matter how late I get off.
Okay.
And then, which is, I'm usually pretty good about it.
Okay.
And then, like, whenever I'm, like, regular schedule sleeping, I mean, it messes up your sleep schedule working late like that.
Oh, sure.
So bad. So, like, I'm still not falling asleep till, like, 2, 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And so I still try to just get up before noon.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you're bound to be jacked up from it. I mean, you might as well
mornings.
just stay up late, you know, like that. Anyway, it's not worth trying to. It's almost like it's not worth trying to go to sleep early because it's not going to work. And then waking up early to go hunting, that's another thing too.
I have to, dude. That schedule, I have to get it switched back and forth. Like, I'll finally get back to where I can sleep at like 9, 10 o'clock so I can get up early. Mm-hmm. And dude, I love mornings. Like, there's something about waking up in the morning, the fresh air.
Fucking love it.
And like going outside, just enjoying all the birds and
yeah,
all nature. You know,
the sun right in the morning. God, it feels great.
Oh yeah, nothing better.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, I'm not necessarily a morning person because I'm still like I'm tired and a little grouchy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the feeling of being awake in the morning.
Yeah.
And like enjoying like myself. I just like being quiet by myself usually, just like enjoying like the outside.
Yeah, me too, man.
But you miss that when you sleep all day.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And though sometimes when I have a bad hunting hangover, or I've been up for days playing music at a time.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sleeping when I go to sleep Saturday night till Monday. Like
Yeah.
all Sunday I will be asleep.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just you have to sometimes.
You have to.
Like if you don't, dude, your body's gonna let you know.
Dude,
like you're gonna be drowsy the whole next week.
Dude,
you got to catch up on the sleep sometime.
When we were on tour, sleep came like last.
Mm-hmm.
And like for me, sleep comes like first. It's first to everything.
Yeah.
Like if I don't have a good sleep, I'm not gonna work out hard the next day, kind of thing. Oh yeah, yeah. And yeah, if I don't sleep well, I get jacked up the next day, next day. And it's kind of like the same thing with like performing that night. Like any night I didn't sleep well, the performance was like, fuck, I've got to drink now, you know. I've got to, like, I have to. It's not like a choice. It's like I have to, because that's the only level of like energy I can get for just a short period of time.
I feel you. I drink a lot of caffeine because of that.
Oh my god, dude! And caffeine fucks me up. So, like when I'm falling asleep at night, caffeine will fuck me up.
If I'm planning on sleeping at night, I can't have caffeine past noon.
Yeah, right.
Like if I have a Coke or coffee, tea, whatever.
Yeah.
Past noon, I'm not gonna be asleep till late.
Yeah.
Like 2, 3, 4 in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been like obsessing about this thing because like I've been drinking like a little bit of green tea in the afternoon, but I'm like, is 20 milligrams of caffeine too much? You know, like just being an idiot about it.
Yeah, I mean, it also depends on the person, you know. I know people who can drink a cup of coffee and go to sleep.
Yeah, yeah. My dad's one of those people, and my brother is too, kind of. And I'm like, are y'all fucking serious? You can drink a cup of coffee right now and go to sleep.
Yeah.
And like my mom will take pride in it. She'll say she'll wake up at like 8 and then drink coffee all morning, and then at 10 she can go like take a nap. I'm like, oh my god, why don't you just like sleep longer and wake up? Like
then have a coffee.
Yeah, and then have a coffee. Doesn't make any sense. So you're working on an album right now?
Yeah, man. We got all our songs ready to record.
All of them are ready to
They're
record.
written. They're composed. Everyone's got pretty much everybody's got their solos down and what they want to put on it. Like some of the new ones that I wrote in the past few weeks. They still need a little tweaking, but we have like a solid probably like 5 more songs that are like ready to record.
So well,
and then we have 3. We're gonna do 3 instrumentals, and they're ready to record too.
So when you say you're composing, what does composing look like? Because that's something I'm working on right now. Is like my songs are pretty composed, but you know you can continue to compose if you want or not. So
man, it's a battle really. Because
between the band members?
No. It's just like
just a mindset, just a battle with yourself.
Yeah, and like trying to figure out what you want, what sounds right, you know. And a lot of times you'll have something great, and then you go to trying to change it, and it gets worse. You know?
Yeah.
Like you got to go with your gut.
Mm-hmm.
Go with what sounds good.
Yeah.
Above all else, go with what sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Like man, trying to figure out what you want to do in a song can be really, really tricky at times. But also, you know, it helps having these guys that are in my band that are elite.
Yeah.
Like, they know how to write. They know what they're doing. I don't have to help them at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I help a little bit because I'm like very well versed in the bluegrass area, and and like kind of alternating that bluegrass into our folky kind of music. I'm good at doing that, and so I help a little bit with that area.
What would you say Be Mine is like? What was that?
I say our genre is folk rock, and I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
you know? It's got elements of bluegrass. It's got elements of rock.
When you have a banjo, it's like to me, when you have a banjo, it's like bluegrass, but it doesn't have like the bounce of blue, like
it doesn't have any other bluegrass instruments.
Yeah, it doesn't really, and like the way Gabe plays the bass isn't really like super bluegrassy. But Garrett, the way Garrett plays the bass is very bluegrassy, you know. Yeah, that song was awesome to me, and yeah, dude. I mean, it was really fucking sweet. I'm curious who it's about. I'm curious. Yeah. You might get in trouble, so bluegrass, folk, rock. It seems like all those things.
It's a mix of all of it, yeah.
It feels like all of those things together, which is a fucking sweet ass genre.
Which ended up with just folk rock to me.
Yeah,
you know?
and because
I have a folky voice.
Just because, you have a folky voice, and you also have you've got a really good full voice. You have your falsettos are great. Like you have a very like Elvis Presley sort of like Willie Nelson kind of voice to me, like if they had a baby, but like if Willie's voice was like deeper kind of, you know. But
I haven't heard that mix before. That's cool. I usually get a mix between like Tyler Childers, Chris Stapleton. Avery has a few of them that he's bound, like he's like, you do sound like them, and I gotta listen to him because I keep forgetting. Dude, he's like, why do you sound like these three people had a baby? I'm like, I don't know.
Why do you sound like that? Sounds just like him. Why do you sound like them? And it's like, I don't have the answer to that question.
That's an answer, or that's an answer to a question I don't know. I just sing, and it happens.
Yeah, and then I feel like your banjo playing it's only a little bit of bluegrass because it's a banjo. That's why.
And I do some bluegrass like licks and stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But the rest of
it, you're taking lessons, right?
In the very beginning of me playing banjo, I did lessons pretty hardcore for like almost a year.
Okay.
And since then, it's just very now and then.
Yeah.
Now I'm just now starting to do them again, because I want them to help me compose banjo parts for these songs.
100%.
Just bouncing ideas off another player, because like it's easy for you to find another guitar player and be like, let me show you this, let me get your feedback. Yeah. I know one banjo player in town, and it's my instructor. You know, so if I want to bounce banjo ideas off somebody, it's him. It's the only person I got, which thank God it is, because he's incredible.
That's sick. What's his name?
His name's Tom Baker.
Tom Baker.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Incredible, man. He's an incredible banjo player.
Yeah, like y'all's sort of folk rock vibe is super dope. It's so cool because like bluegrass to me is very like forward playing, and y'all kind of do forward playing a lot, like in front, like playing in front, continuing to push the song constantly.
Pick.
Yeah. But like I'm curious what this slow song sort of vibe is like too with y'all, you know.
Chase said it today. He said it's kind of like Johnny Cash.
Okay, dude, I'm such a fan of Johnny Cash.
And I was like, it is kind of Johnny Cash.
I fucking love Johnny Cash so much.
Oh, so I mean, he's top 3 for me.
When the Man Comes Around, dude, that song is killer. Yeah, top three of all time
of artists. Yeah, for me, he's in my top 3 artists. Yeah,
great writer, dude.
Yeah,
so fantastic writer. Like Hurt.
Yeah. And he's another guy that's not constricted to a single genre, and that's the way we kind of want to be. We don't want to be necessarily one thing.
Yeah.
Because we're not, all the guys in my band, we all have inspirations from different stuff, like different genres and stuff.
Yeah.
And Johnny Cash, he basically made his own genre, I'd say, because he's like, a lot of that stuff is different.
Country folk, country folk rock, kind of less rocky, but country folk
for sure. Some folk.
Because him and Bob Dylan with "Girl from North Country," I love their version of that song. Like, I like Bob Dylan's original version, but them together on that song and how they mess up in the middle of it, I fucking love it. It's just like you get a little piece of what Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash are like together in the studio, because they mess up and how they sort of like, you look at Bob Dylan's face in your mind is Johnny Cash is looking at Bob Dylan because it's Bob Dylan's song, and then Johnny's like, "Oh, sorry, dude," and then Bob's like, "No worries, I got this.
No
Keep
worries,
going."
You're Johnny Cash.
Yeah, I love you too, man.
My
Don't
dad,
worry, keep going.
My dad met Johnny Cash one time.
What?
My dad used to play softball, and there was this bar they'd go to after the softball games. And they got there, and they wouldn't let anybody inside. And they were like, it's going to be a while before we can let in. They're all waiting around. He said all of a sudden, Johnny Cash comes out the door and is like, "Hey, fellas, we're going to be in here for a while. We're shooting a movie. It's nice to meet y'all, though, and I'm Johnny Cash. And I'll see y'all later." When my dad told me that very recently, like past like 2-3 months. And I was like, "You're just now telling me you met Johnny Cash?"
Dude.
In that way?
Man, I had a friend that met Elvis Presley.
That's so cool.
And I think she was like 22 or something like that, and I don't know how old he was at the time, but I think she was born in like 65 maybe. So he must have been. Was he born in like he was born in like 35 or something like that?
It was near the end. Of the old Elvis.
Yeah, and then he like invited them to come hang out with him in his room, and they had to say no because they couldn't, for some reason. I don't know the end of the story, but they had to say no for some reason. I think they like might have been with their mom or something, and he had like a bad rep or something. Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered. Say no? It wouldn't have mattered anything.
See, you losers. That's your mom. I'm going with him. Although I mean, at that point in his life, he's probably a little bit sketchy.
Yeah, she was like, "No, you are not hanging out with Elvis."
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy, man.
Dude,
that's so cool.
Yeah, dude. Like with composing, well, actually, with songwriters, man, Johnny Cash really is one of the best. I read a little bit of a biography of his when he was living in Puerto Rico, and just the way he like thinks about things, the way he conjures stories. He doesn't attribute it to himself at all. His history is extremely heavy, with his brother dying when he was young, and with his family, his dad, nobody believed in him, kind of thing. And but man, but I will say the composing side of things, like trying to figure out what your composition can be. Well, actually, let me ask you: Are you guys going to record your record? Well, how many songs y'all working on?
Okay, so we got "Be Mine."
Okay,
it's going to be on the album too.
Right.
And then we have 7 more songs that I'm going to sing on, or that have like lyrics to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to have 3 instrumentals, 1 intro, 1 interlude, and 1 ending. And so the instrumental, here's a little secret actually. First time this is being told to the public. The instrumental, the intro instrumental is going to be the same key as the second song on the album. So it's going to like bleed into it. Like it's going to like flow right in. And then it'll be like a few more songs, and then the interlude. And after that, it's going to be in the same key as the song following that, and so it's going to bleed into it. And then the last song is going to be in the same key as the ending, so it's going to bleed into the last instrumental to finish out the album.
That sounds very like wavy, very Tidal.
It's gonna be
kind
cool.
of. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, we're excited about it. But yeah, so we have a total of 8 songs with the lyrics, but 11 songs are going to be on the album with those 3 instrumentals.
Okay. So you're gonna release a couple more singles, or you're gonna release? Yeah,
Probably 2 more.
Okay.
Before
That'd be the right business move.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Are you
for
thinking
sure.
about the business much, like the music business?
Oh yeah,
You are.
I mean, I'm the manager of the band. I'm the booking agent of the band.
I figured
I'm the
as
business
much.
manager of the band.
Nice.
Luckily, I've been through music business program at UGA. I know
Right.
how to do it all,
And apparently, it's the best.
and it's the best.
Yeah, that's where Jameson got his shit from.
You know, that was a game changer for me. Was taking that course or that certificate of a bunch of classes. Man, it taught me how to run a band. Now I don't have to pay that to someone else to do it.
Right.
And that's a lot of money that comes out. A booking agent, they take 10% of everything you make at a show.
Yep.
A manager takes 15% of everything the band makes. Anything, merch, ticket sales, everything. A manager gets 15% of all of that. And then a business manager gets 5% of everything.
Business manager is different from just a regular manager.
Yeah, they're dealing more with the business side of things, you know.
Yeah.
Just like contracts, you know, working deals, you know, stuff like that.
It's a lot to have all those people in your squad.
That's 30% of your money that's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
We keep it in the band because I know how to do it.
Yeah.
Now there'll be a point in time, hopefully, you know,
Yeah.
we're too big that I can't do that.
Is that your plan? Is that what you want? Just to like to pay people off like that enough to where it's worth it and everything? Okay.
Once we're big enough to where the money's right for that,
Yeah.
I'm done doing all that stuff.
Yeah, sure.
I will pay someone to do it once I'm making enough money to be good. You know,
It's a pain in the ass to do it.
It is.
You know.
Oh, man, I spend all day, every day doing music stuff.
It's so much.
Like being a manager of a band is intense.
Yeah.
Like 24/7 about I'm doing something for the band. And then plus like, dude, I pay like all the expenses for the band.
Yeah.
Like I'm paying for promotions, for when we go.
It is your name on the ticket too.
It's my name on
and
it. So
I'm the same way.
how
It's
gotta be.
the same stuff. Same thing.
You know,
I'm paying everybody out. I'm the one getting paid, and I'm paying everyone else out. You know, and there's also a weird line of like, damn, I should be paying these guys. You know, and you want to be, but like, right, it's just not possible. You know, and I think everyone is kind of on the same page with that too, and understanding that.
Luckily, I'm in an amazing band with guys that are in it for the long run, and they're understanding of everything. And also, man, we've done super well in the fraternity.
Yeah, I heard you guys
region.
played PyCap recently.
Man, we play for them all the time.
Hell yeah!
I think we're playing for Beta Monday for a tailgate.
Oh, right on.
Man, the money's good there, so like we don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Like
playing for Beta on Monday for a tailgate. Yeah. Gotcha.
And so luckily,
how do you get booked by them? Do they just reach out to you?
Well, Gabe's in Beta.
Oh, that okay, yeah, Gabe, yeah.
Andrew's in Phi Cap.
Okay.
And then the other ways, dude, I promise you this is how I do it. Like I go downtown, I'm having some beers.
Yeah.
I find the frattiest looking guys in there.
Careful now.
And
careful.
You know what I mean though. You know they're all in the suits or they're on the polos, and I'm like, I see you.
Yeah.
I got you nailed. I walk over there. I'm like, are you in a fraternity?
Are you in a fraternity?
No, I mean, I'm a friendly guy. You know. Actually,
I'm a friendly guy.
How PyCap, how PyCap worked out wasn't like that though. I was just that time I really was just downtown hanging out, and I just got to chatting with a guy, and just out of nowhere he was just like, I didn't see him as like a fraternity person. His name's Patrick. I didn't even think he was in a fraternity, honestly, to begin with.
Organic as it is, then.
We were just talking, and I was like, yeah, I'm in a band. And he's like, oh, that's funny because I'm in a fraternity and we've been looking for a band.
Perfect.
Like, oh. And this was like last March. And we got in with PyCap through that. And since then, they're our favorite people to play for. I love them.
Pie Cap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
How long are the sets, you think?
3 hours usually.
3 hours? Okay.
2-3 hours.
Y'all have 2-3 hours? Yeah.
The longest
cool.
one we played for them was 4.
4? Wow.
Long.
Cool.
That was the first one we ever played for them.
Yeah.
That was our that was our second ever show.
Yeah.
And but back to the other thing. I look for some fraternity looking people, you know.
Yeah, you're on the hunt.
I'm on the hunt, you know, like it's business. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'll walk up to them and, you know, just have a conversation, be like, by the end of it, I'm like, are you in a fraternity? You know, clearly already knew it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, if you ever need a band, let me know.
Yeah, you see like one guy with a bunch of guys around him that are like looking different ways, you know, kind of like looking for ladies or something.
You just gotta know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You know, and going about it in the right way, like just like being respectful to people, and you know, just like it's not much to it. And now that we're like in that game of playing for fraternities, like fraternities talk to each other. They're like, oh, this band's cool.
Yeah.
If you need a band to come play for you,
They kick ass.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, man, nowadays, like, I can't remember the last time I reached out to anyone to try to book a show.
Hey, that's great. That's
Dude,
a good
it just
position to be in.
happens. Like,
Yeah.
we have so many shows that get booked just through people being like, come play for us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, almost too many
Yeah.
for at least the moment, because I'm so busy with, like, school and stuff, you know, like,
Yeah.
other things.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't my full-time job.
I mean,
it basically is.
Yeah. And like what and also saying like no to people too is like can't do it, wish we could. Is like, damn, they've got demand on them, you know.
Yeah.
And only so much supply.
Yeah, like I had to cancel a gig with a sorority for the 40 watt show we played.
Yeah.
And you know, it was sad to do.
Oh yeah, that's right. You guys
But-
had to cancel, yeah.
It's the 40 watt.
40 watt.
First time ever at
Yeah.
a legendary place.
Yeah. When are you guys gonna headline the 40 watt? You could soon. You could whenever you want. Pretty
You
much.
know, it's hard, dude, because the party crowd, I don't want to get super political about it, but like, you know, the vaccination thing there is hard.
Oh.
It's hard to overcome.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna go into a show trying to make money at least,
Oh sure.
Like the
don't,
party
don't,
crowd?
Don't go there.
party crowd ain't necessarily vaccinated.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, they're not. They're not.
And so it's hard to do that without like knowing people are gonna show up. Like
Yeah.
if I'm gonna play a 40 watt show, I don't want it to be an empty room.
100%.
It doesn't make sense for anybody.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's a whole. I saw Culture Wall today. Posted on his Instagram. All the COVID vaccination stuff. You know, we're not gonna tour because everyone's got all these rules and stuff around it, and I understand.
I mean, you're losing money.
You are.
Why would you do something that loses you money?
Why would you go on tour if you weren't going to make what you could make, if you just held off on going on tour until you could actually make good stuff where you could just sit back and record and rehearse and stream and do the whole other side of music, you know, which is equally as fun sometimes.
Yeah. You know, but you know, everyone's itching to get back on the road.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like,
Dude,
and that's where all the money comes from, really.
Playing live music, dude. That is a drug in itself.
For sure.
In that, like, and especially one of the best feelings is when someone comes up to you after and they're like, I love that. You want to like get to know that person way more because they loved your show, meaning they loved you and your energy kind of thing. So they want to get to know you better, and then you're like, if that person liked all the shit that I'm playing, then I need to get to know them better because they're probably going to be a good friend of mine in the future.
Yeah. And
Whatever it is.
those people can like tell you more like who your target audience is too.
Yeah.
And finding your target audience is so important.
Yeah.
Like in music. Like if you don't know who's gonna like your stuff,
Yeah.
like it makes it a lot harder.
Sure, man. Sure, dude.
Like now on Instagram, whenever I promote a post, like I have a target audience that I'm promoting it towards. Like I have it set between like 18 and 40.
You just throwing it out there, you'd be pissing money away, dude. Yeah. I took a whole like business course kind of thing on how to do exactly what you're talking about, target audience and like kind of click funnel sort of thing to get them to buy like a t-shirt or whatever and whatnot. And I was like I was developing software for them, and then they were giving me this coaching program instead. It's Modern Musician, if you've ever heard of them. You might have seen them on like your Instagram stuff because they're really good at targeting.
Yeah,
they're really
that sounds
good.
familiar.
Yeah. And so I did this whole thing and learned how to do all that stuff.
But that was beneficial.
It was beneficial, man. I will say it was really beneficial. It was really beneficial, and I'm feeling that I'm not gonna use it the way that they are per se, because it's a little bit like their whole funnel with me was like, okay, once you've got all your messaging stuff set up, once you've got all that figured out, you got like your t-shirts and your hats and your whatever, then you have like automated messages to fans. And I'm like, right.
Seems a little much to me.
Right. Well, okay, when you're getting like 30, let's say I was getting like 20 messages a day when I had these, maybe not that much, maybe like 5 messages a day when I was doing these ads, and I was having long conversations with these people via Facebook Messenger, and it like took from like 2 p.m. until 6 p.m. to talk to all these people and solidify them, like get their email address so that I could put them on my like email list thing. So that was like my goal of the whole thing. And I think after all of it was said and done, I had like 10 people that subscribed to my email list out of like 60 or so, which is not a bad conversion rate.
Yeah.
Especially if like the end of that funnel was going to be like them buying t-shirts or something. I may have made money, but at the same time, like there was, the automated messaging thing kind of came off as a little bit pompous, of sort of like I want to be talking to these people, but there's also a line too with that of I'm not going to be able to talk to everyone that comes in, like everyone that messages you.
And then if you wanted to go to everyone, it's not going to be personalized. It's just going to be a mass message to all these people.
Right.
Which isn't personal.
Right. And then once somebody figures out...
Which you can just do on your Instagram.
Yeah. Once somebody figures out that they're talking to a bot...
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to talk to a bot.
Fuck no. And this, imagine getting talked to a bot by like one of your favorite artists.
Yeah.
I'm pissed.
Yeah. I don't want any of that.
Mm-mm. Hey, Johnny Cash, don't do the bot.
Yeah, don't do the bot.
It's like if he was doing that, that's not something he would probably believe in,
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather hire. He'd probably like hire like 10 assistants to do it instead, Yeah, man. I have to pee really bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You have to pee or anything?
No, I'm chilling.
Let me pee real quick. I'll be right back.
Josh's gonna play his new song, "Be Mine."
This is "Be Mine" by the Josh Bennett Band. Better with all of us together.
Yeehaw!
So leave me no doubt about your love. Yeah, there was, now it's lost. Hear me out. I'm working every late night now, it to you so I can sing to you my favorite tune. Please be mine. The thought of you's been running through my mind. And oh, be mine. When I'm with you, life is so divine. If you'll wait for me, then you will see we were meant to be. I've been thinking about that late night when we drove out. That song came on and we sang along to it all night. Yeah, it's true. I got a broken heart for you. But there's still time if you'll just say these lines, it'll all be fine. Please be mine. Listen, boy, you've been running through my mind. And oh, be mine. A day without you is a waste of time. If you'll take back me, then you will see we were meant to be. Now we just wait for the day to sing. Now you're mine. When we're together, everything's just fine. Know you're mine for every single reason and every rhyme. And now we see that we were meant to be. That's how it ought to be.
That's so good, man. I love that song so much.
A little harder solo banjo, but it's still fun and good.
With the band, it's so good too. But I mean, with you just doing it right there, it's so good. It's so pure too. Your voice is just so pure with it, man. It just like hits me in the soul, dude. I fucking love it.
Well, man, that's a good thing about writing songs, especially. I know you know this. Like when you're singing your songs, like it comes out like your natural feelings. You know, the way you want it to sound, how you want it to feel.
Yep.
Like you can feel someone's song. Like when I'm singing covers, yeah, it sounds good. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like singing my own song. To
Nothing
people,
like it.
especially when they like it.
Yeah, when they like it, it is heroin, basically.
Dude, for real.
It is heroin. Man, that's so good, dude. It's so good.
So you want to hear this little change up slow song?
Yeah, I
So I'll tell you what this is about.
do. You want to tell me what the other one's about?
That one's a little harder to talk about.
Okay.
But I do have a new girlfriend. Her name's Yuna. She's amazing. And she inspired me to write this one, this slow song. It's called The Apple of Your Eye.
Lovely, man.
So here goes. And well, it takes some time to find the one you love. And it's tough for your patience to not give up. But if you hold on, someone will hold your hand. find the apple of your eye. There'll be times you think no one's on the way, but just wait, 'cause soon will be the day that you're gonna find the special one that lights you up brighter than the sun. The day will come that you'll find the apple of your eye.
One day you'll find the apple of your eye.
Yeah, man. It's a good encouraging song too, man. Like, I just know a lot of people who struggle with finding, you know, their person. A lot of people struggle with finding their person who they want to be with in life,
Yeah.
and you know, you just gotta wait, cause anytime you're forcing anything, it ain't right.
Yeah.
And you know, your person will come along eventually, and when it happens, it'll light up your world, to say the least. You know.
I got ghosted this weekend.
Hey, it happens to the best of us, bro. It happens to the best of us.
Man, it made me laugh because it was hurtful for about 30 minutes because it was like, okay, she's scared of, you know, it was like she's scared of that might fall. I don't know how, I mean, if you trust it, I trust it.
do this little number
Okay.
right here. That should be
Yeah.
as good.
Yeah, that's cradled up. Yeah, I got ghosted, and it was like there were thoughts of, you know, but yeah, it was like okay, she's scared of me judging her / commitment / whatever else it is. It doesn't really matter, but you know, and then today there was this really cute girl in the gym, and I was like, oh my God. And it was one of those that, like, you look over at her, or you like see her coming towards you and you're walking that way, and she gives you this, like, she looks at you into your eyes and then gives you this smile, and it's like one of those childlike, you know, like, and it was like, I'm looking good. I know I'm looking good. She's looking good. She knows she's looking good. And it was like attraction. And it was like, and then she comes and works out right in front of me. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I need to go talk to her, but I don't know what to say. And it's like, you know, one of my friends was like, oh, dude, don't go talk to girls in the gym.
Yeah, that's what
like,
I've always heard. You know,
Yeah.
and I've always kind of felt that. Like,
Yeah.
I guess it is kind of a weird place to be trying to do
weird.
that.
It is weird.
But it's like, I mean, if you're not gonna shoot your shot, you're gonna miss your shot,
Right?
No matter what.
So I was thinking,
You know?
I did some research on YouTube later today, earlier than now, but later. So I was like, okay, what's the play? Because I was thinking, hey, your calisthenics are awesome. Like, your work ethic looks, I mean, your work ethic is great. Not like looks great. And I was like, I was thinking, I was like, hey, do you like to run or and then I was thinking like, it's too choppy. It's too fucking much. And then, I like did some like research and it was saying something like, I don't even remember. It was like kind of something, all right, advice sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no. I know what it was. It was like, hey, that technique you're doing for that one particular workout, what muscle group is it working like? Is it working for you? Like, that would be a good question.
I feel like if you're gonna do it, it's gotta be as anti-flirtatious and normal, and normal as possible, for it to not seem weird.
Exactly.
Because like, yeah, I mean, I'm at the gym sometimes. We saw each other at the gym. You know?
You're on the rower kicking ass.
Yeah.
You were in there before me. I was
gotta keep these lungs up.
Yeah. Gotta keep the lungs up.
Dude.
Tear them down another way.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you know, and I've always been like, I just feel like it would be so weird if I started flirting with a girl in the gym. Mm-hmm. Just like for all the reasons, you know? Yeah. But if you're gonna do it, I'd say as normal as you can possibly make it, like you were just saying, like, yeah, just like talk about something like along the lines of the workout. Yeah. That would work. It'd probably work.
That would work. I think.
And it might not immediately get you a girl, like, relationship wise or romantically, but it might get you a friend, and you never know what a friend will turn into.
Dude, a friend can turn into everything. It can open up a universe for you. You know, it's like if a friend offers or invites you to come do something fun, and then you do it and you have a good time, and then they want to keep hanging out with you, it's like a whole universe of all of their friends want to come into your life, and you know, that whole thing happens, which is fucking awesome. So weird you can like almost relate.
So I don't see a big problem with it, but you definitely got to go about it in the correct way for it to not come off as creepy, I guess.
Exactly.
You know?
You got to be right with your tone. You got to make sure your tone's very, like, you know, very neutral, very, like, observe, like...
Not like, hey, I like the way you hit those squats, girl.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah. Like,
if a girl said that to me, I would be like,
yeah.
Ew.
Exactly.
Like, imagine a guy to a girl now. Now it's like...
Right. And then, okay, so I was looking up things that girls do in the gym to attract guys to them. This is so weird. But it was like they'll like put themselves in in the vicinity of the dude that's working out. And after we made this contact, she was working out like right in front of me. A few minutes later, she like came and found me or something, and then worked out right in front of me. The whole gym was open.
Yeah,
like so she could have gone way over there. And but yeah, like when I'm walking up to them, it would have to be very neutral, very like it would have to be very like trying to learn something from them, very curious about what they're doing. And you like, yeah, if a girl was asking me, hey, your ass looks great, like I see you're doing like goblet squats, your ass looks great, I would be like, whoa.
Easy there, cowgirl.
Yeah.
And that, you're right, like the way, like not only the way you go about it, but the timing, like when they come and they start working out by you, that's when you gotta make the time. Make the move.
There's this one other thing that happened too, which per the research, per the experts, they say that if you see her in there one time, you'll see her in there again. So I'm like, okay, what time did I go today? You know, I went a little later than I normally do today. Okay, all right, I'm going to go at this time again
But also, here's a huge point out of that. Like, you can't obsess over one.
100%. 100%. You can't do it.
Because your heart will get broken fast. Like,
fast.
In the click of a second. Like, like you think you like a girl, they'll let you know that they don't like you back fast. Like, so like you gotta like 10 girls.
10 girls. 10 girls.
And then one will work out.
Yeah. I used to do that. I used to think like, all right, options is the thing. And then they were getting taken up one by one by other guys. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I should have just gone after the one I like the most.
Yeah. Now 10 was excessive. That was an exaggeration. I would say.
Josh has got 10 biddies on him at all times.
No. I'd say like picky 2 or 3 that seem like they would work out. Ones you like and want to work out eventually.
Man, yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, and like at this point in my life, I'm like, if there is a girl that is super hot that you feel like is smart to some degree, ask her out.
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're at. You can find something to come up with wherever you're at to get their number to ask them out. The thing that I did wrong with this girl in Birmingham, that's where I was over New Year's. I was like, I texted her. I asked a friend of mine who was a girl. I was like, what should I say to her? And what she wanted at the time was attention from her boyfriend who was sitting right next to her. And she looked at him and goes, just give her attention. That's all she wants. I'm like, yes, that's the answer. And then I did that. And then I'm thinking later, I'm like, that was the last thing that this girl wanted was more attention from this dude that she had just met. And we talked for like 10 minutes, maybe, 5-10 minutes, some shit like that. And like, there was a like a subconscious sort of obsession, but it sort of like a 30-minute grieving period that's fine for something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, and it
also makes you think like what you're gonna do better next time at.
Right.
Like when you do that.
Yeah. I've been ghosted before, so it's no like new thing.
Yeah. All guys, dude.
Yeah, fucking and guys ghost girls all the time too, and it like whatever ghosting means to whoever's doing it's different for every person that's actually ghosting the other person.
True.
But it's always a fun experiment to see how your mind reacts, see how your psyche reacts to it, because it could be very painful if you've invested a lot into it, or not painful at all if you haven't.
Which is why you got to invest like some into a few, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Some into a few until one fully takes the bait.
I love this idea. Like
you've
got your rig in the water.
You've got
your rig in the water. You've got like 6 or 7 baits out, and you're just pulling behind the boat. One's gonna get hit.
Yeah. Increase your odds,
dude. Me and my brother and my dad were fishing at Smith Lake not too long ago, and we had a rig behind the boat, and we've got this polar 20-foot polar, and we're pulling this rig behind the boat. The motor's cranked, just pulling the rig, and the line starts just cranking, and my brother grabs the reel and pulls it in. There's a striped bass on there, so it's a rig. It's got around 9 baits on it, and there's a stripe on it, and there's 2 spot bass on it too. Dang. On one line. Ooh. Yeah, about a 9-pound stripe, and then like 2 probably 3.5 pound spot bass on it. So maybe you can catch 3, dog.
Yeah,
maybe you can catch 3.
Man, I bet that felt like pulling up a heavy boot,
dude. So like we thought it was one. We thought it was one stripe, right? Because like stripe can get up to like 40, 50 pounds. My dad caught like a 42-pound stripe, one of the biggest stripe caught on Smith Lake in Alabama.
That's a monster, dude. Yeah,
it's a monster. He's got it hanging up. He's so pissed off because he's got it hanging up like in our little lake house. They built it about 4 years ago, but there's really tall ceilings, like super tall ceilings. And he's got it way up on the top, way above the TV up there. And no one even fucking notices it when they come in and hang out.
It's like, did you see my bass?
Yeah, he's one of those guys. He's like, he totally wants like people to see his thing so he can brag about it, kind of thing. But it's all for a joke. It's all for entertainment. It's great. And it's way up there. But caught 3 stripe three bass in one cast. That's crazy, huh?
I won't go fishing. It's about fishing season.
Is it? Yeah.
About to start, man. Once it starts, I go about every other week. Whether it's trout fishing, pond fishing, I fish on Lanier a lot. That's where I keep my boat. I have a bass boat Ranger.
Oh, right on.
And so that's where I do a majority of my fishing, at least, is on Lanier.
Yeah. Lanier's a cool lake.
Yeah, it's scary though. Like, and you got to know what you're doing. That's like another place where I've had life-threatening experiences. You know, and you just got to be ready for them. Like, don't go out on the lake on a Saturday in the summer, ever.
Yeah, too many people.
Too many people.
Yeah. Waves
are like 6 feet tall. And if the wind's blowing south and it's coming down the whole lake, then they're 10 feet tall.
Oh, shit.
And you're dead if you're out there.
Dude.
Like, even in my big 21-foot boat, like, you're not going to find me on that lake on a Saturday.
Yeah. Is it a fishing boat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like good flat top bass boat. Like,
yeah.
You know,
Good
like,
beer
I'm not
drinking
scared
boat.
to be out there.
Yeah.
Unless it's a Saturday.
Yeah.
In the summer. And I'm not going.
Yeah.
And you know, it's full of drunk people on jet skis, drunk people on yachts.
People partying.
Driving all over the lake. Like, dude.
Was it kind of like a lake
dangerous.
where you can drive, like, there's a lot of, like, wide open area, kind of, like, not wide open area, but, like, kind of, like, people drive really close to other boats when it's a heavy day.
Yeah. And man, there's so many turns and little islands everywhere on Lanier. Like, the biggest thing is the turns. Like, dude, you come around a bend, and dude, it can just be like a sea of people, like in boats and stuff. Like, and you're all of a sudden, there's no brakes on a boat.
Yeah,
you're all of a sudden like letting off, and like flooding your whole rig, trying to not smash into people. Like,
trying to hit reverse.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
it's dangerous. Being on the water is super dangerous, and especially in Lanier. And dude, people's like, oh yeah, Lanier's super haunted. People go swimming and get dragged under by mermaids. Bruh, no. People go out there when they're drunk and swim on a lake with freaking 6-foot waves.
Yeah,
dude, if there's like 2 or 3 foot waves on a lake and you don't have a life jacket on, you're probably gonna die.
Yeah,
like, even if they're 2 or 3 foot waves. Like, it's nothing to play around with. Like, it's serious. And, like, it's like, people die every other week on Lanier in the summertime because of that shit. Like, maybe even every other week, or every week. Like,
that's crazy. Is it a deep lake?
Yeah, real deep.
Okay. Smith Lake in Alabama is really deep, too. We go stripe fishing there a lot. We always go stripe fishing because, like, dude, it's like squirrel hunting versus like deer hunting, kind of. You know, it's like, and they're huge bass. They're crazy. Are there striped bass in Lanier? Yeah.
I always catch them when I'm fishing for spots. Like,
yeah.
But dude, those spotted bass get big.
Do you eat spot bass?
I don't really eat the fish I catch.
Yeah.
At least in freshwater.
Yeah.
Unless it's like crappie or a trout that's like somewhere like that I'm not trying to release them.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of places where I fish for trout where I'm 100% going to release anything I catch. Yeah. But there's some areas where I'll be like, I'd take one out of here. You know?
Yeah. Dude, did I tell you about potentially hunting like right down the road from here?
No.
WMA land.
Really?
With a bow.
Oh, I didn't even know that there was a WMA here.
It's right down the road.
How big is it?
It's pretty big.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
I'd be interested in that too.
Hey, if you want to go hunting one morning, that would be awesome to go.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Because like, I've done scouting there, so I know where the deer are gonna be.
Yeah.
I know where the does are gonna be. Yeah. I don't know where the bucks are gonna be.
There's no telling ever.
There's no telling. But it's 20 to 25 minutes south of here. Right at the Coney campground, there. And there's a lot of space back up in there that I scouted with just going down there like in September kind of thing. And but I mean I saw some tracks and stuff, and like it doesn't look like there's too many like footprints or
there's tons of deer around this area.
Yeah.
In general, like they're everywhere, like in the neighborhoods and everything. There's deer everywhere. So like
the issue is that killing deer with a bow, and like actually getting that done, it's like you almost need a stand, you know, or like a tree.
You gotta have a portable, probably.
Yeah,
for it to be good.
Because I was hunting in Alabama with no portable, no nothing, sitting on the ground, but I knew right where they were going, and I set up exactly where I wanted to sit, and I knew exactly where they were going to be coming. Too close to me, could smell me, could see me. It was a shit show, to be honest.
Also, like, on public land, another good thing, like, I feel like you could do is, like, build a blind. Like, I don't think you're allowed to put in, like, a blind, but you can build a fake blind, like, with sticks and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, that's an option, but,
one thing that you could do is, you could bring one of those, like, there's, like, a little pop-up blind that's, like, it's kind of like, it would be like the corner of this room, kind of, and then, like, cut off, like, right there, and then it comes up a little bit, so you would kind of, like, you'd kind of be right there, and I think you can stand up, and then you can pop up and then shoot. So you can draw under, right, and then stand up, and then you can fire. Because the main issue was me drawing back.
Mm-hmm.
That's like,
it's a lot of movement.
Doing this motion, like pick up, stand up, draw back, like this whole thing of drawing back, like it's a lot of motion. It's a lot.
And if there's more than one deer around, it's next to impossible.
Yeah, one deer's tail goes up. Yeah, one deer's tail goes up. You're done.
I definitely would love to do that, but I'm like, when it comes to public land, it sketches me out a little bit, just because
it sketches me out too.
You know, I mean, like,
I've never hunted public land.
You don't
before.
know who's out there.
I know,
and they have guns.
Well, okay, they don't have guns on this land.
So it's a WMA that's bow only.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's go.
Okay,
like anytime.
Right. Okay, cool.
Like, dude, I'll bow hunt anywhere. Like, down for that. But like, when it comes to gun hunting on public land,
sketchy.
Like, I probably would. In Georgia, I wouldn't do it.
I mean, you have land out like in South Georgia, so I mean,
no reason.
Go there. Yeah, right. Exactly.
But other states, like, I'd go gun hunt on public land, like, especially on the Midwest, like open range, like, not too many woods, like, around, like, you got on orange, like, you're pretty safe.
Pretty safe.
Like, I want to go do a mule deer hunt like that. Like,
oh, you do?
For sure.
Okay.
I want to do elk too, but like elk, I'm gonna do with the bow. So.
Oh, you're gonna do it all out with you.
I think I'm actually going with my dad next year. Elk
really?
Hunting, but I'm not gonna shoot. Like, I'm just gonna do a video because dude, it's so expensive. And, it's gonna be on a Native American reserve out in New Mexico.
Right.
And, dude, it's awesome.
That's awesome.
Like.
Yeah, my buddy.
Prime.
My buddy has one of his cousins lives in Montana, or maybe Utah, and he does a elk hunting guide service, and so we're thinking about going up next year, gun hunt elk up there. So
do it,
dude.
If you have the opportunity, pull the trigger and go do it.
Yeah.
Because, dude, and honestly though, it might ruin you for deer hunting. Like, you might never want to deer hunt again after you elk hunt.
The thing
is, it's sick. Have you turkey hunted before?
I have, but not seriously.
Never been on like a good turkey hunt?
No.
Dude, if you ever watch like a good turkey video, like on YouTube or anything, they say it's like it's turkey hunting, but for giant animals, like elk hunting is.
Oh, really?
Because like, you're calling them and they're calling back and they're coming in and stuff. Like, deer hunting, yeah, you can call them in. Like, I called in a few deer this year with my grunt call and stuff, but it's a lot of sitting and waiting. Turkey hunting, dude, I'm running all over the woods chasing after these birds. Like,
see, that's the shit. That's fun. The shit. Stalking your prey is what you want to do. Like, I had an issue with, like, when I'm gun hunting, it seems like cheating, because like, it seems like I'm like, all that has to happen is a deer to walk out into the field, and then I've got meat in my fridge, you know. But like with bow hunting, it's different, because you're closer to, like, you've got the literal, you know, projectile. You can hold it in your hand and feel it and understand everything about it. But
I'd say it's up to, I think it's up to what you're trying to do. Like, if you need meat in your freezer, like me this past weekend, I needed meat in my freezer.
Yeah,
I'm going to shoot a doe.
Do you eat a lot of game,
dude? All the time. Like, fuck yeah, dude. I'm sad I only got one deer this year because I'm gonna fly through it.
Yeah, it's gone in like 2 months.
Dude, I'm gonna fly through it, and you know, I like eating fish now and then. I love eating wild turkey, dude. It's so good.
Oh, really?
But the main thing I eat, like, and you know, like when it's, you go on a dove shoot, I eat the doves. They're good. You know, if I get to go on a duck shoot, I'll eat the ducks. They're good. Love it. Yeah. But deer meat is where it's at. Yeah. But back to that, like, if you're out like really just trying to, if you're set on killing a deer with your bow and you're not in super need of, like, I need meat right now, like, you know, that's like a fun, cool way of going about it. Like, it's way more challenging. There's way more stuff you got to think about. But now I will say, like, dude, when it comes to rifle hunting a trophy big whitetail buck, it still isn't easy. Yeah. Like, whether you have a rifle or a bow, dude, it's hard. Like, killing a big buck is not the easiest thing to do.
On certain lands. Yeah. On certain lands.
Yeah, that's true, too. Yeah.
I mean, if you're on high fence, of course, it's not hunting.
No, that's not hunting. I would never do that.
Yeah. And I think hunting, there is a big piece of getting lucky too. Oh, yeah. You know, and like you can have game cams out and like figure out like where they're moving,
increase your chances.
Yeah, and find the scrapes and you know, all the stuff, man, and you can find them that way. That's how you find them, and then know how they bed, where their bedding areas are, and stuff like that, and then understand them that way. That's how you kill a buck. Like, that's how you do it a legit way.
And but then there's more.
A lot of people get lucky.
Yeah, and there's even more to it than that. Once you're finally in the stand and it's that moment, and that buck comes out, bro, like, and your heart starts racing, and you gotta know when to move. You gotta know when to shoot. Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, you gotta know when to move, when to shoot. Like, dude, the final 5 seconds of shooting that deer are extremely hard. Yeah. Drew, I missed the biggest buck I've ever seen in my life this year.
Oh, you told me about this.
Dude, like, straight up giant. And, you know, and those last 5 seconds, I did everything perfect. I hung that stand 2 weeks before, and I knew it was a money spot.
Oh,
and dude,
no.
I slipped in there that morning, no flashlight, which is kind of dangerous down there because we got hogs, coyotes, like Sasquatch. But dude, I slipped in there, no flashlight, quiet as can be, and those deer came 20 yards from where I slipped in. That's where they were bedded down. And I slipped right by them in the dark without my flashlight.
Perfect.
And dude, I got up
Your
in
bow
there.
hunting?
Rifle.
Yeah.
And dude, doe comes out, and I see one behind her, and I see a flash of him through the timber. And it was pretty dark, so it was like first 10 minutes of light. I saw a flash of the rack, and I was just like,
yeah.
And as soon as I saw that, my nerves just up and down. I'm like, oh my God. Like, trying not to look at it, trying to see if he's still there, coming in, like, dude, and he just starts rubbing trees, and I see that massive rack,
he's rubbing
like,
trees,
just smashing trees, dude. Dude, the doe comes out in the lane 40 yards, like, I'm like, oh, I'm about to smoke him. I'm about to smoke him. Yeah. And she, like, sees me. She looks up at me, and she, like, kind of, like, I didn't like that kind of deal, and started walking away, like, down the lane, and he's still in the woods, and he starts walking away too. He, like, turned around, started walking away. So I took my grunt call out, and brrr, and he stops. He comes back out, and he's so mad, dude, ripping scrapes and trees again, dude. And now I see him, and he's in the wide open, ripping a tree to death, and I see how big he really is, dude. And I'm just like, that's 160-inch deer. Like,
Holy shit.
Dude, the minimum this deer was 150. Like, dude.
Holy shit.
Like, I'd say he was 160 plus. Like, giant.
Jesus.
Mega giant. Like, that tall. Like,
My
off his head.
God.
Not that tall off his head. Like, 14-inch tines. I don't know how many tines he had. I know he had more than 10.
Oh my God.
Dude, if I've ever seen a Boone and Crockett deer, that was it.
Oh my God.
Dude, I'm getting ready because I know he's coming. And the doe, she takes a left at the end of the lane, and I'm like, oh, I know he's gonna come out. So I get the gun up, and I see him, and he enters the row, and I flip my safety off, and I go, meh. And as I do that, I put my head in the scope, and I watched his head go whoosh like that, and dude, it was like his whole rack filled up my scope.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, and dude, I just put it on him. And when he did that, he turned towards me a little bit. And so I was behind the shoulder. And when he did that, I put it on his shoulder. I just moved it just a hair. And when I did that, I squeezed the trigger.
Yeah.
And I was using my dad's big ass 7 mag.
Oh.
And it's super heavy, like twice as heavy as my normal gun.
Yeah.
And I think it just kept swinging a little bit when I pulled the trigger and shot in front of him. And boom, gone.
Oh no.
But dude, this year was one of my best hunting years, so I can't complain. Like, I saw so many deer. I got to hunt more than I've ever got to hunt. I had over 30 sits.
Oh, right on.
Dude,
that's
like,
great.
I gave it my all, to say the least. I let go some beautiful deer. Like,
yeah.
I let go a 10-pointer one morning, man.
Yeah. You let him go?
Pretty much everyone else I know in the state of Georgia would have busted him.
Yeah.
But he needs like 2 more years.
Yeah.
He was like solid 125-inch 10-pointer, maybe 130.
Yeah.
And dude, just absolutely beautiful. Like, came up, and all of his points were the exact same length.
Yeah.
They were all like right at 6 inches, probably.
Yeah.
Like maybe 7.
This deer is super symmetrical right here.
Dude, I love deer like that.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Super symmetrical.
I'm talking about white, like paint white.
I love
were those
that.
rags.
I
Was
love
his rag.
that.
But it was like, he was thin, no mass.
Yeah.
And he looked like a donkey. Or not a donkey, like a dog.
Oh,
like
yeah.
a goat.
Yeah.
Like, his body was so small. And I was just like,
shit. He's going to be huge deer next year.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's another, same idea, but an 8-pointer, but it's a chocolate rag deer. Like, dark chocolate.
Oh.
Like, almost black rag.
Yeah.
And, man, he's beautiful. But, like, same deal, like, all same inch points, 8-pointer, but on a baby body. And so I let him go, too. Then I let go a big 7-pointer, like, dude, like, tall, like, that high off his head, like, came straight up.
Yeah.
And I may have should have shot him, because he was
you
like 4.5.
a lot of big deer. That's cool. Or at least a lot of, like, nice rack deer.
It's just how I was raised.
Hey, that's a good practice to have.
It really is. Like, dude, and it's not only because of you want a bigger rack, it's just, it's right to harvest mature deer.
Yep.
Like, if you're going to shoot small, there's no reason to shoot small deer.
Yeah, this deer was like, I think this deer was like 3 years old, probably. Maybe a little younger. So it may have been a little early, but I'd sat so long, man. But I mean, I took a lot of flack from that deer, but at the same time,
It's also Alabama, man. Like,
it's Alabama. I mean, and the people on this property, anybody would have shot that deer for sure.
yeah, so it's like, if you don't shoot it, someone else is.
Yeah.
That's a different situation than, like, in a trophy club, like where I'm at, like, where we want to let our deer grow up.
For sure.
And with that, like, they get to breed the does to make more deer longer, like, or more deer in the long run with those good genetics, you know?
Yep.
So if you shoot every little 10-pointer you see, just because it's a 10-pointer, like, you're going to run out of 10-pointers. That genetic's not going to move on. Like, you're going to have spikes that are 5 years old.
Yeah. Yep.
Which isn't good.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I think I had probably, you had 30 sits this year. I probably had like 15, something like that.
which is solid. Like that's a lot of time out in the woods.
Yeah,
Like
it is.
So, an average of 4 to 5 hours probably like per sit. Like that's a long time in the woods.
Yeah, and I did a lot of like stalk hunting, and I saw a nice at least antlered deer through the trees. I was bow hunting, and I was walking into the field that I normally hunt, and as I'm walking in, I see this rack, right, like here is the walkway kind of, and it goes through the middle of this field, and this field looks just like this. Essentially, it's just a long line kind of, and it's just grassy, and I see this buck right here. And in terms of you, like, you know, when you see the deer, when I walked up and I saw that, I could hear him rustling around, and I'm being very quiet. I'm taking a step, 2 or 3 steps every like 30 seconds, probably a little less or a little more, and I'm seeing him rustling around and stuff. He's right under the stand I always fucking hunt too.
Of course, of
yeah,
course.
yeah. So I'm sitting there, and I see him rustle around, and I'm, you know, just this massive like just adrenaline crank to, and I'm like, my heart is beating. Like I check my heart rate. I check my heart rate in the gym all the time, so I know how to do it really well and really fast. And in 5 seconds I can check it. If you count 10 heartbeats in 5 seconds, that means you're at 120. So I counted it, and I was at like 140 in like a matter of like 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Going from relaxed to 140 is so fast. And then I start breathing.
It makes it to where you can't shoot. You really can't.
I can't do anything.
You can't, like, in my opinion, with a good conscience, take a shot on an animal when it's like that.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
My biggest buck,
happened again this year.
I watched him for 10
happened
minutes.
to me too.
I watched him for 10 minutes before I could kill him, because I finally calmed down. I was like, all right, now I feel comfortable with where I can shoot.
Yeah.
Luckily, he was happy where he was.
Yeah.
But,
and man, I was trying to. I think the wind was rolling south, and he was southwest or southeast of me, just barely. And so I'm, you know, just like trying to do breathing practices to slow down my breathing. And I think he just smells me, and I just see him like look up at me, and he's just like, I can like feel his horns just looking directly at me, and then he like looks over, and then he kind of just like, I'm not fucking with this, and he trots off. That was the closest I came to a buck this year, though. Damn. But I mean, honestly, like right now, all I want is a doe for meat in my fridge. Like anything I can do for meat in my fridge.
Sunday.
Well, in Georgia,
in Georgia, yeah.
In Alabama, it goes until February 10th.
Damn, that's such a long season, bro.
For bows.
Okay.
For guns, for antlered deers in the region that I'm hunting, it goes until I think maybe February 10th or a little bit shorter, and then you can't hunt does past January 1st with a gun.
With a gun.
Yeah. Why? Do you know why they do that?
I think it has to do with like the reproduction.
Yeah.
After the rut, you know, it's like you don't really want to kill does after the rut unless you have way too many deer.
Yeah.
And then you do, because it's taking away the next like generation of deer, you know.
Yeah.
So especially Alabama, with as many deer that get shot, like they want to lessen the impact of like the newborns. Like they want more newborns. But in Georgia, you know, there's a lot of areas where they're overpopulated. Like where I hunt, there's way too many deer.
Yeah.
And so like shooting deer this time of year isn't a bad thing. Even though you are risking the chance that you're shooting a deer that was bred by a big buck.
How long? So does bow season last? How long is bow season in Georgia?
Everything ends on Sunday, which is
this Sunday,
the 9th, except in like 3 different counties. I know one of them's Cobb because that's where I grew up.
Okay.
You can use a bow till the end of January.
Okay. Yeah, dude. Big game on Monday too.
Yeah.
You know I'm a Bama fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're in the wrong town, boy.
Dude, I went to Paloma Park for the SEC championship in Bama gear.
I bet that wasn't as fun as you thought it'd be, though.
I will say that I knew what I was getting into because
Yeah.
I was like, all right,
Oh, yeah.
in Tuscaloosa, like any Auburn fan that comes into a Tuscaloosa bar on the Iron Bowl, this is that same thing, and I'm the Auburn fan.
Yeah.
And I got so many, hey man, fuck you, like I want to kill you kind of vibe, and I was like, hey, you're right, fuck me, and walked off.
Yeah,
because
there's
like,
there
any
really
amount
are.
of people could have two guys could have kicked my ass. One guy could have started it, and then like 100 people would have been ganging up on me.
And then you really know, like, there's actually people that like are out there trying to just get in a fight. Like, there's people that go
Absolutely.
downtown for the sole fact of getting in a fight. There was a guy, I was literally working, and I went to the bathroom, and there's this guy. He was wearing an Alabama shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, see, but this guy, he was totally opposite of you. He was looking
There's some
for a
whiskey
fight.
Rye if you want some.
Sure.
It's pretty good. This is from Gail.
No, but I jokingly, it was a bathroom full of Georgia fans.
Yeah.
And I jokingly, like, was just like, oh, man, you're in the wrong city. Just, like, kind of smiling. Gave him a, like, giggle.
Yeah.
And he's like, he kind of, like, got up, like, not in my face,
This
but pretty
Alabama
close.
fan,
Yeah.
dude?
He didn't in my, he wasn't like this in my face, but he was right about here, and he was just like, yeah, you got a problem with that? And I'm like,
Oh my.
nah, man. Someone else will take care of you, though. Go on.
My God. You're right. He probably got in a fight that night. Was this recently?
It was like last week.
Oh my goodness.
I think it was last Thursday or Saturday or one of those days.
I don't wear Alabama gear in town just because, like, but
worth
I mean,
it.
listen, for the SEC championship, I was gonna rock that shit, and like, yeah, there was a little bit of covering up while I'm walking around and stuff, but I mean, yeah, like holding my drink right here
Yeah.
while I'm walking by people and stuff, because the place was packed,
Yeah, dude. You really do have to be careful downtown. Even not with that kind of stuff. Like, man, there's just people itching to get in a fight for some reason. I could never just want to go get in a fight. Never. Like, I don't understand it. I don't. And people are just like so into their like
into their own world. They're in
they
their
have
own
such
world.
ego too.
Yes.
It's like they're the only people that matter.
Yep.
And they want to drive their ego by fighting somebody.
Man, I tell you, man, I got in a fight in college once. I got in a few fights in college, but one of the times we got our ass beat in our own fraternity house. And this was a brawl. Like, there was like 20 on 20 people kind of thing. Yeah. And
That's not fun.
in the courtyard of our house, man. And I had the mentality, I remember, because I was dating this girl, and I had to break up with her because this thing happened that, this thing happened, I had to break up with her. And then I had this feeling of like, I want to get in a fight. Yeah. And I remember it was such a sad feeling. I had a terrible night that night. And I remember that, there was this whole thing that happened, but I was basically trying to protect one of my friends, and, he was talking shit, but there was like a flock of like ATO people coming right at him, and I saw it all happening. So I ran over there and helped them out. And, it just turned into like us basically just getting, like, we got like 5 or 6 punches in and then basically getting our ass kicked. But kicked a few times in the ribs, maybe in the head a couple of times. I remember waking up the next morning just being like, my head hurts kind of thing. Yeah. I guess my memory is pretty blurry on that subject because I haven't talked about it very often, and it's not something that I like am proud of at all. Yeah. So it's not something I'm ever saying. But in terms of like that whole mindset of like just wanting to get in a fight, remember how sad I was that night. remember how sad I was, like, wanting to try and get in that fight, and it didn't feel good.
You got to be careful what you ask for.
Dude, like, being aware of, and at that time, I had no fight. I didn't have any idea of you know, emotional intelligence or anything like that. Like, so, you know, I had no idea that I was, like, super sad and angry at the same time, you know.
A dangerous combination.
A dangerous combo, man, for yourself and many others as well.
It's really also, like, with that, like, you got to think about, like, it's kind of a selfish attitude to have, because even if it's like you have that attitude with your friends, one of my buddies had, like, this kind of same thing. Like, he wanted to get in a fight, but then he was with a bunch of buddies, and all of a sudden they're in a brawl with these people that they didn't ask to be in, and they got their ass kicked. Like, all of a sudden they got dragged into a fight that they didn't ask to be in, and then got their shit rocked, you know? Like, you got to think more about, like, others, like, because, dude, fighting is no joke. Like, you can die from fighting.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Especially in a bar. Dude, all it takes is that one guy who's really about it to grab a beer bottle and go, whop!
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that'll kill you. Or you get a real crazy one that grabs a beer bottle and goes, smash! And
yeah.
like, dude, it hits you in the neck, your wrist, anything like that, you can die so quick.
That whole motion of what you just did takes about a second. Bah, bah. That in 1 second. And think about how many times you've been unaware of everything that's going on in a minute. Like, a whole fucking minute. And then when you're caught up in the moment and everything else, that can happen so quick. It's so true, man. It's so true.
It's like, that's stuff I'm glad I've learned at the bar, you know?
My
Working
God.
there has really helped me.
Yeah,
like
that.
And dude, diffusing situations is such an ease now. Like, but anytime it's like serious, like, I got to get these people out, I just tell them I'm gonna call the cops on them. Yeah, and they're gonna leave, and they leave anyway. Yeah. Like, there was this old meathead in there the other day, steroided up, like, in his 40s or 50s, dude. Yeah. With his trash wife. Oh, she was nasty. Oh, God. Oh, God. He was, but, dude, I had just got there. It was a game day. And I was on the second shift. I had just got there, dude. And everyone had been drinking all day. And one of the barbacks, Spencer, he comes up to me and goes, Josh, we got a meathead out here trying to fight everybody. And I'm just like, I literally just walked in the door like 4 seconds ago, and y'all already want me to kick someone out? And they're like, just come with us, please. I'm like, oh my God. So my manager, another bar back, and I walk up to this guy, and we get behind him, and he goes, yeah, this is him. And I'm like, all right. And I'm like looking at the two guys, and they're both looking at me, like, waiting for me to do something. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And
apparently, are you bigger than them?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's fair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Spencer's taller than me, but I mean, I am a pretty big guy.
There's some big guys that work at Boar's Head.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens?
So this guy's standing there, and apparently he'd just been trying to fight every person near him, and he called our bartender a whore like 12 times.
Oh, shit.
And so she's so upset, like crying. And I just walk up to him, and I'm like, hey, man, you have to leave right now. And if you don't, I'm calling the cops. And he looks at me, and he just stares me down, Drew. Like, death stare for like a minute. Yeah. Like, no joke, a full minute. And after that ended, I'm like, okay, now that you know that I'm not scared of you, get the fuck out. Yeah. And he was just like, and he goes to put his hand on my shoulder. And I was like, no, don't touch me. Get out. And he was like, about to say something. And he's like, this. And I was like, nope. And I dialed 911, and I'm like, yeah? You want to do this? And he's like, just like death staring me again, and I dialed it, and I'm like, and he just walks over to his raggedy old wife. He's like, come on, honey, we gotta go. And I'm like, and we're walking him out, and the lady's like, what'd he do? And I'm like, well, to begin with, he called our bartender a whore 12 times. Yeah. And she goes, ugh! He calls me that every other hour. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's because you are. Now get out. And we get him out the door, and he's just going at it with the dang door guy, and I had to call the cops again. And he finally walked off, but it was so annoying. Like, it's just stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
That's in college towns. That shit would happen. It's gotta happen like all the time to you.
yeah,
All the time.
most of the times though, it's just like a drunk like college kid that just gotta toss him out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like those, I'm not scared.
those
Those
are
I'm
kinda
not scared
fun.
to just go ahead and get.
Are
them
those
out.
fun?
It can be fun. It can be fun, but I mean, I'm not like itching for it though.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to get in a tussle with anybody. But
Right.
Like
Of course not.
if you're in there being disrespectful in any manner, like you're gonna get tossed out.
Boar's Head is a crazy bar, man.
It really is,
It's like it's like the bangingest bar in Athens, right?
for the most part. Yeah.
I mean, of all the bars I've been to, that one's definitely the coolest. It's got
Yeah.
the coolest atmosphere, everything else.
And the cool thing about it is like it's usually like not full of kids. Like all the other bars are full of underage kids. Like we're so strict there,
Yeah.
and so it's nice.
Yeah.
But there'll be nights where they do get in and they just make a mess, bro. They don't tip. They're rude. Then we throw them out.
Oh, really? You know who they are, and then you can throw them. Like if somebody doesn't tip, you can kind of like throw them out.
We don't do that. If someone doesn't tip, usually the bartenders will like scream at them or something.
I got you.
They don't usually like ask us to kick them out.
Yeah.
But like if a bartender asks us to kick someone out, like it's most time on spot. Like no
Like-
questions asked.
Like tonight, is it going to be a banging night?
No telling. Probably because it's
People are just getting back.
people are just getting back and they're ready to go hit the town. You know,
Yep.
like tomorrow's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Saturday
Is Hutch going to be there
probably
tonight?
Hutch?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He probably won't. Or I don't know.
What do you mean? Like,
He's there on Wednesday.
yeah,
Definitely. Always.
yeah. Hutch is a Wednesday guy for sure.
Yeah.
Hutch
I've
is-
seen him there on Saturday though before, so
He definitely sneaks in now and then
Yeah, he
for
does.
the party nights,
yeah,
drinking his PBRs.
yeah. Have you seen Ellen Sue's there recently?
I saw Sue's last night.
Okay.
Yeah, she's gonna do pictures for us Friday.
Okay, dude, she has
Sue's-
great pictures.
Sue's Evans Photography,
Yeah, she's the shit.
fire.
Yeah, yeah. If you need a photographer, let her know. She's awesome, man.
Yeah.
She's
and
great.
fun, man. Like
She's
one of the coolest
so
people.
much fun.
You know, super funny. Like
Yeah,
cool to be around, and you know,
so funny.
that's who gets to be a part of like the Josh Bennett Band experience. You know,
Yeah.
it's like cool people. You know, I will never hire someone to do something for me for the plain fact that they're good at it.
right,
Like
Yeah.
they got to be good at it plus be a good person.
dude. That's good business advice too, because it's like if you wouldn't go to dinner with them, then don't work with them,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Because it'll end up being slimy or skeezy one way or another.
Yep.
You'll never see eye to eye.
Yep.
And people you work with, if you don't see eye to eye, it just causes problems.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a problem-free environment.
Yeah, yeah,
Like the second there's any even thought of drama between the band and like myself or me and someone in the band, like we air it out and we get it figured out like ASAP. Like we don't allow problems to continue.
that's good shit.
You know.
That's good shit. That's fucking awesome. Do you live alone? Do you live with other
I have
people?
3 roommates.
3 roommates. Are they chill or
Yeah.
are
They're all guys I grew up with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like young. Like
Okay,
we
cool.
went to school together growing up.
Y'all know each other real well.
Yeah.
Y'all know how each other operates. Yeah.
So it's just easy. You know?
Yeah, it's easy shit. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Shoot, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I think I'm probably going to move out of this house. I'm not sure to where, but
Next year,
yeah.
I'm looking for a roommate.
Are you? I might be moving. Dude, the thing is, I might be moving to Bama, so I gotta
Oh,
figure
is that
that out.
right?
Yeah, because I'm buying my pops out of his business potentially.
Oh,
I'm gonna do a test year with it and then potentially buy him out of his business. But
there you go.
if
What
I
kind
end
of
up
business?
not doing that, then it's a rental business. It's called Smith Lake Rentals. It's basically just like a business that owns property management of places on the lake that people want to go to rent for a vacation home. It's pretty good.
That's fucking lit.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll be doing. It depends, man. It depends. It's gonna be like I gotta sacrifice a few things to make that happen.
That give and take.
Yep, the give and take operation and being on spreading myself too thin kind of thing. And
at the end of the day, dude,
out.
if there's one thing I can say, just please do what makes you happy.
100%, man.
Like, dude, if that ends up not being like something you want to do, but the money's good, still rethink it. Like,
yep.
Don't get stuck in something you don't want to do. That's 100%. All I've got to say. Because your life is much more than that, than just money and trying to make a living. Like, there's so much more. Like, because you'll find other ways to do it.
Yeah,
we're all like talented enough, smart enough people, where you can do something that you want to do to be happy.
Yeah, and everyone can do that too,
They really can.
Everyone can figure out what that is, and it takes some practice, Oh, yeah. It takes some time alone, but it's completely possible with everyone, man. Let's end it, dude.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Good having you, man.
Thanks for having me, brother. That was a good time, good talks, man. We covered an array of things.
We did. Yeah, go follow Josh Bennett on Instagram, and do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's just now made. It's got Be Mine on it. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Be Mine's their new single, and Josh Bennett Band on Instagram. It is just listed out, Josh Bennett Band.
Yeah, Josh Bennett Band.
Yeah, nothing, easy to find, simple.
JBB.
And then pay attention to their upcoming record, and then also go listen to Be Mine, because it's a great song. It's the evolution of folk rock and bluegrass, and it's a pleasure having you, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.